where you walk, what you say, when you talk, where you go, where you walk, what you say, when you talk.
Good morning to Grenada, Carriacou, Petit Martinique, the rest of the Eastern Caribbean, and then all those of you listening in Radioland. I am CJ, and this is RealFM 91.9 and 91.5. We are broadcasting from Main Street Satas in historic St. Patrick. Good morning to you all.
Boats of prey waiting to swoop down on you, and there's no telling what they'll do. You gotta be careful. You gotta be careful. Where you go when you're walking, what you say when you're talking.
Annette, if you're listening, can you please call in on the landline?
You gotta be careful, careful. We have to prepare to meet the challenges of life without fear. Greed and jealousy, hatred and envy, man, you have to move with care in that jungle out there. You got to be careful. You got to be careful. When you're moving, which direction you're going, you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful, careful.
Where you go, where you walk, what you say, when you talk, where you go, where you walk, what you say, when you talk.
In your search for happiness, you got to leave a little room for loneliness.
Annette, good morning. If you're listening, can you please call in on the landline? Something is wrong with my phone here, so call in on the landline at 442-0175.
You got to be careful. You got to be careful. With what you do and how you're doing it. If you do, when you're doing it, you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful, careful.
Annette, if you're not hearing me and someone else is hearing, can someone please call in and do the morning prayer? Thank you.
The cleanliness in life is gone. It's only vice and corruption that's going on. Staying alive, trying to survive. That is how it is today. So as you go along your way, you got to be careful. You got to be careful. Where you go when you're walking, what you say when you're talking, you got to be careful. You gotta be careful, careful.
Hello, good morning, CJ.
Good morning, how are you?
I'm good, I'm good.
Okay, go ahead.
Good morning to the nation. I'm saying a morning prayer.
Okay, go ahead.
Let all the earth sing praises to the glory of his name. Make his praise gracious. Worthy are you, O Lord, and God, to receive glory and honor and power. For you create all things, and by your will the earth and were created. Lord, Heavenly Father, this morning I ask you to bless this radio station and guide and protect us through the day and give us the strength and the courage. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Thank you so much.
Hello.
Hi, I'm here.
Yeah, nice day.
I had to step out for a moment, but I think I got back just in the nick of time. Thank you so much.
Oh, all right. Have you a nice day.
You too.
All right,
Bye-bye.
By substandard products. Our taste speaks volumes and sets us apart from the competition. You will be satisfied with every sip of our product. Say rum, say Woodman, feel satisfaction. Now that's quality.
The first word when you speak about furniture is classic. Yes, at Classic Furniture, they design and make the best in local furniture. All their products are made from the finest local wood available on island. You think it, they design it and make it to your expectations. The highest standards at the best possible price. And they also provide higher purchase for you, their valued customers. Located on Ben Jones Street in Grenville with their factory at Chantimel in St. Patrick. That's where you need to visit when looking for products made of the finest local wood. They deliver and install items at no extra cost. Your satisfaction is their mission. The extra step is taken to ensure their customers are completely satisfied. They do doors and finished kitchens, supplies mattresses, and restores antique pieces to look like the first day they were made. Hey, give us a call on 442-4645 and 442-9726. Classic Furniture, Grenada's homegrown furniture producers.
Step inside. Immerse yourself in colors that come alive.
Color by Sickle.
Let your imagination run wild. Surround yourself in a world of color.
Color by Sickle.
Endless inspiration. Bold expression. Bold expression.
Color by Sickle. Sissons. Express your style with Color by Sissons.
In our part of the world, we need to be prepared for natural disasters like storms and hurricanes, even outside of the season. I'm sure you'll agree that keeping our loved ones, homes, and businesses safe is important. So, I came up with a few quick tips to help you stay safe. First, make a family disaster plan and ensure that everyone in your household is familiar and comfortable with it. Remember to add batteries and flashlights to your emergency kit. Don't be caught off guard by natural disasters. Prepare now. For more information, visit grenlec.com.
Where you go? Where you walk? What you say? When you talk? Where you go? Where you walk? What you say? When you talk?
It's a hungry world out there, with everybody scrambling to get a shed. Wolves in sheep clothing, birds of prey waiting to swoop down on you, and there's no telling what they'll do. You gotta be careful. You gotta be careful. Where you go when you're walking, what you say when you're talking, you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful.
Good morning again to everyone. I had a bit of race this morning to go downstairs and come back up, but I'm here. I think I'm breathing properly now. Thank you so much to Jumpsticks for calling in and praying this morning. In a few ticks, we'll be going to the Maurice Bishop International Airport. But in the meantime, let me say good morning to those of you who are on WhatsApp. That is Annette, good morning. Mac Belfon, good morning. Kit Sylvan, good morning. Lennox, good morning. And let me also say good morning to my little friend out there. I think he's in, let me see, where do you live? But it's Analdo John, good morning. I hope that soccer is treating you well these days. I know you'll be leaving soon, but I promised that I was going to hail you up, and here I am. Let me also say good morning to those of you who are on the live. Faithlin Holly Douglas, good morning. Ivor Hollis, good morning. Hazelyn Isaac, McSween Belfon, Shirley Skirt, Pat Keep James, good morning. Anne-Marie Celestine Grant, good morning. Good morning to Junior in Granville, your brother in Canada. Good morning to the Date family, Arlene, Daphne, Ethan, and Olivia. Good morning to the Hill Street people. I know Jester is going to say good morning to you when he comes in, but good morning, my first one. Good morning to you, Mona. Good morning to Cynthia Alexis, also to the Cashew Tree University students, good morning. The Swans, good morning. As I go along, my brain is in kind of frozen land right now. I will continue to say good morning to everyone as we go along.
More things could happen all of a sudden before you realize it's only a disguise. You gotta be careful. You gotta be careful.
At 7:30 this morning, I'll be talking to Anne, David, and Twine. It is June month is a sickle cell anemia month, and she's going to call in this morning to talk about the foundation and what they do. And I'm not sure if everyone knows, but the first sickle cell patient was from Grenada, and he's buried at the Roman Catholic Cemetery there in just on the hill up here from let's say so-called Caribs Leap area. They're coming to lay a wreath there tomorrow, I think, and she's going to be talking about sickle cell. So stay tuned. And right after that, we'll be going into our Mental Health Tuesday program. And I need you to call in this morning again and participate. I don't know if you noticed, but whenever you participate, it goes really well because each day we learn something new, we learn something more, we gather more information, we become better equipped to deal with situations when we speak. So I'm telling you, I'm not begging, I'm telling you to call in today from 8 o'clock when we're talking about our mental health program, which is on authority. Because last Tuesday, a gentleman called and he talked about authority, how we handle it, how we deal with it. And Lorna Bain from Toronto called and talked about authority. So we see these days that no one respects authority, but there are so many different clauses of authority that I learned while I was doing research. And I'm sure some of them you might say, wow, I didn't know that this was part of that. So tune in, get your pen and papers, write your questions, make your comments so that we can mosey along nicely when we're doing our Mental Health Tuesday program. Now, I remember a few more names that I have to say good morning to. Manda, Franklin, good morning. Good morning, Patrick and Michelle, just up the street. Good morning to the Glenn family up in Marley, the Kelly's family in the days. Good morning to Francis Sylvan. I know you're listening. Raymond Courtney, good morning. Hope that you're doing well. Good morning to each and every one of you that is listening to RealFM. It is a pleasure to come in here on a Tuesday morning to talk about mental health, but to know that we have so many listeners that participate in our program. Let me also say good morning to Pearl Charles. Good morning, Jerome Kenneth Lewis. Good morning to, let's see if I can remember her name. Warwood, Gemma Warwood, good morning. Hope you're doing well. Good morning to Coffee in the Morning. Haven't heard from you for a couple of days now. And good morning to you, Mama. Good morning to Natalia John. You haven't checked in as yet, but I know that you're listening. Marlon Klein, good morning. Haven't seen you for a few days either. Even though you're traveling, you know Real FM goes everywhere with you, right? So you can just check in on YouTube, check in on Real FM Grenada live, and you will find us. So once you get off that plane and you're settling your home, tune in. We are here.
Cooperative Credit Union, the credit union of Grenville, takes you where you want to be. Feel secure with the Credit Union of Grenville, taking care of all your financial needs, including savings, loans, mortgages, and sound financial advice. Serving you with branches on Jubilee Street in Grenville, Lucas Street in St. George's, and coming soon, our Grandand sub-office. Call us on 442-8602 or visit one of our offices. With Grenville Cooperative Credit Union, your financial security is guaranteed. M&M Hardware Limited, Hope St. Andrew and Dusty Highway St. George, shop conveniently for all your building materials including plumbing, electrical, lumber, cement, steel and much more. We manufacture roofing sheets available in 11 colors, aluminum windows, doors, insect screens and hurricane shutters. Installation services are available for all our manufactured products. Our opening hours are Monday to Friday 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., Saturdays 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. M&M Hardware Limited. Come on in and experience our affordable prices or call us 444-6757 or 440-6757 Dusty Highway. Email us at info@mahonhardware.com or mnmdusty@mahonhardware.com. M&M Hardware, foundation to roof. Let's build together.
Now more than ever, Flow is working hard to keep you connected to the things that matter most: your family, your work, and your favorite entertainment. We are also providing Flow Study free of charge so students can stay connected and up to date with their schoolwork. And because your safety is our highest priority, you can manage your account from the safety of your own home through the MyFlow app. We are here for you, keeping you connected.
Prepare for hurricane. Prepare for hurricane. Make sure you have your radio and your batteries too. Waterproof flashlight candles will do thin stuff. Garbage bag, first aid kit. Come on people, make sure you have it. Clean water in a container and a hurricane plan. Hear me no man.
Hurricane damage is beyond your control. Surviving the aftermath is up to you. Have a hurricane plan. It can save your life and your family too.
Prepare for hurricane. Your hair, prepare for hurricane. Where you go? Where you walk? What you say? When you talk? Where you go? Where you walk? What you say? When you talk?
It's a hungry world out there, with everybody scrambling to get a share. Wolves in sheep clothing, birds of prey waiting to swoop down on you, and there's no telling what they'll do. You gotta be careful. You gotta be careful. Where you go when you're walking, what you say when you're talking, you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful, careful.
We'll be heading to the Maurice Bishop International Airport to see what they have in weather for us this morning.
I say we have to prepare to meet the challenges of life without fear. Greed and jealousy, hatred and envy, man, you have to move with care in that jungle out there. You got to be careful. You got to be careful. How you move when you're moving.
And we have Andrew Charles from the Met Office this morning. Good morning to you, Andrew. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you, and good morning to listeners of RealFM. Before I go into the weather, I'm going to give an update to the status of Tropical Storm Brett. Currently, it's located at 11.7 degrees north, 44.7 degrees west. That's 998 nautical miles east of Grenada, or 1,849 kilometers east of Grenada. It's moving west at 17 miles per hour. It's expected to approach the Lesser Antilles later this week. Its maximum winds remains at 40 miles per hour, or 65 kilometers per hour. Strengthening is expected in a couple days into a hurricane. However, Grenada and its dependencies are not under any watch or warning at the moment. I repeat, the state of Grenada is not under any watch or warning. Now it's time to have a look at the weather for today, Tuesday, the 20th June, 2023. Currently, it's partly cloudy. Winds are from the east at 12 miles per hour. Barometric pressure, 10-14 millibars. That's above normal and rising. Present temperature, 27.9 degrees Celsius. Relative humidity, 84%. Yesterday's maximum temperature, 29.8 degrees Celsius. Last night's minimum, 26.1 degrees Celsius. Over the past 24 hours, no rainfall was recorded. Hence, the total for the month remains at 98 millimeters. Now to have a look at the forecast, Val for today and tonight. Today, we expect some partly cloudy conditions. Becoming fair at times by late morning into the early afternoon. However, by late evening into tonight, cloudiness is expected to increase with scattered light to moderate showers. Maximum temperature, 31 degrees Celsius. Winds east-northeasterly to east-southeasterly at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Seas light, waves 2 to 4 feet in open waters. Tide to be low at 12 noon, high at 5:15 p.m., and low at 10:30 p.m. Sunsets today at 6:34, rises tomorrow at 5:45. Just to repeat of the forecast, that for today and tonight. Partly cloudy, becoming fair at times by late morning into the early afternoon. However, by late evening into tonight, cloudiness is expected to increase with scattered light to moderate showers. Maximum temperature, 31 degrees Celsius. I'm Andre Charles, reporting for the Met Office. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Andre, and have yourself a great day.
Thanks,
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Be careful, careful.
Valued members of the Riverside Cooperative Credit Union is hereby given notice that the 49th Annual General Meeting of the Riverside Cooperative Credit Union is scheduled for Thursday, 29 June at 4 p.m. from 4 p.m. at Riverside Government School, Riverside St. Patrick, under the theme Solidifying Our Position as our community's premier financial services provider. Members attending should register at the following branch: Riverside St. Patrick, Grenada, West Indies, on telephone numbers 442-2732, 442-2870, or mobile 405-0308 or 405-0302, or email info@riversadecreditunion.com. Management wishes to advise our members
Ozone really gets it clean. Get with the Ozone family line of products. Ozone liquid laundry detergent, perfect for your semi or fully automatic washing machines, yet suitable for your hand wash, soft on your hands. Ozone disinfectant cleaner. It's the most powerful disinfectant and cleaner with a long-lasting fresh scent. Tackles every job around the house or office. Ozone detergent powder and ultra soft fabric softener gets your clothes clean with a natural freshness. Keeps your colors bright. Choose from the wonderful scents: soft flower, ocean breeze, and the new aloe vera. Keep your kitchen sparkling clean with the Ozone dishwashing liquid, Ozone sponges, and cleaning cloth. Ozone toilet bowl cleaner removes lime scale and kills germs while giving your toilet a refreshing scent. Ozone really gets it clean. Marketed and distributed by Calico, Frequente St. George's, and are available at shops and supermarkets nationwide.
Somebody say, we money up, we jumping up, we money up. Oh, na, na, na.
Well, what do you know? The NLA is giving you an additional chance at winning in its Crazy Cash Second Chance Parish Giveaway. Yes! Starting June 10th, enter your non-winning Daily Cash 4, Daily Pick 3, or Playway tickets valued at $12 or more in a single purchase for a chance to win over $25,000 in cash. Be sure to write your name, address, and contact info on your entries before dropping them in the NLA branded box at your favorite authorized agent. Draws will be conducted every Friday starting June 23rd to July 21st, 2023 for every parish and aired on GBN TV at 8 p.m. That's a total of 105 draws of $250 each. Promotion ends July 14th, 2023. Must be 18 or older to participate. All prizes must be collected by July 31st, 2023. Other terms and conditions apply. See stores for details. NLA, making your dreams come true.
M&M Hardware Limited, Hope St. Andrew and Dusty Highway St. George. Shop conveniently for all your building materials including plumbing, electrical, lumber, cement, steel and much more. We manufacture roofing sheets available in 11 colors, aluminum windows, doors, inset screens and hurricane shutters. Installation services are available for all our manufactured products. Our opening hours are Monday to Friday 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., Saturdays 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. M&M Hardware Limited. Come on in and experience our affordable prices, or call us 444-6757 or 440-6757 Dusty Highway. Email us at info@mahonhardware.com or mnmdusty@mahonhardware.com. M&M Hardware, foundation to roof. Let's build together.
Good morning again. As I mentioned this morning, we'll be having Ms. Anne David Antoine speaking to us on Sickle Cell. It is June month and it is the month of Sickle Cell. So let me say good morning to Anne. Good morning, Ms. Antoine. How are you?
Good morning. Thank you for calling me this morning so we can link up, and thank you to all your visitors for listening to us this morning. Very privileged to be here.
Okay. Now, I know June month is a month of Sickle Cell. Can you explain to us and the greater public what is Sickle Cell anemia?
Okay. Let me first say that this particular week, the month of June, yes, we concentrate on sickle, but particularly in this week, which started on Sunday and ends on Saturday. Sickle cell disease is a genetic condition. It's something that one inherits. You don't get it through, but like you get a cold or anything, as it is inherited from your parents. The very first person in the whole wide world to ever be diagnosed with sickle cell disease is was a Grenadian. And that person passed away. His name was Walter Clement Noel in the year 1916. What actually happened is that he was a dental student in the USA and he kept getting on well. And so people took an interest in him, in his medical condition there, and it was found out that his red blood cells were not round as they should be, but they were sickle-shaped. And that is what really causes illness and pain and all of that to people. But there are two things that we need to be aware of. There's sickle cell trait and there is sickle cell disease. Important, we should all note that when two people, or if two people with sickle cell trait get together and have a child, and each of them has a trait, then the possibility of the child, in every pregnancy, there's a 25% chance that the child could be affected. So it is really important that people know their status. They know whether they're carrying a trait so that they can take the necessary precautions or they can make wise choices about their reproductive health. In Grenada, as it is in the Caribbean, the incidence of sickle cell trait is 10%. So out of every 100 people, then of course there are 10 people who, in any one group, that are likely to have a sickle cell trait. Just to demonstrate that fact, I can say to the public, this year so far, we have tested 238 persons. Out of those, 25 people have a sickle cell trait and 2 people sickle cell disease. So, of course, we are showing here that so far we've picked up even more than the 10% that we use as our benchmark. Let me say that includes, Carriacou and Petit Martinique as well. So we're not kind of leaving out. It's not just on the mainland. We are looking everywhere. The Sickle Cell Association started in the year 2006, so we are in our 17th year this year. And our purpose really at the association is, one, to give information, to support sicklers and people who have sickle cell trait, to get them to know whether they as carriers, whether they have a trait or not, and also to help people to live as healthy a life as they can with their condition. If someone has a trait, one doesn't know, may not know it unless that person is tested, get a blood test in a laboratory, and then that person would know what action and how to live their life, etc. And to spread the word as widely as possible so that everyone is aware of the condition, just as any other condition they may have, whether high blood pressure, whether whatever. The difference with things like high blood pressure is that you don't spread it to anyone. But if you have a sickle cell trait, it's obviously something that is within your system and you don't get rid of it. Once you're born with it, you have it until the day that you're called to the great beyond.
Okay.
With sickle cell disease, which of course is different from the trait, it can be an extremely debilitating condition. Because the red blood cells are not flowing through your blood vessels, if they were round, then they get stuck. They can clump together and get stuck within the blood vessels. And that can cause excruciating pain, which is known as sickle cell crisis. One can have a stroke. It can affect every single organ in the body, from the feet to the head. Strokes, severe pain in the joints. It can affect your heart, affect your liver, your kidneys, even affect your reproductive life, as we have said, affect men when they have an erection. All of those various organs in the body can be affected. So we really want people to be aware. So if you have a child that's affected, if you are carrying a trait, or if you don't know you are carrying a trait, before you make your mind up to start having your children and starting your family, it's good to be aware.
Thank
I
you.
think I've said quite a lot in those couple
Well,
of
there are very important facts that you brought up there, because I know about sickle cell disease firsthand, so
Right.
I know what you're talking about fully.
Right. So your experiences in that
Yes.
situation follows exactly what I'm saying.
Exactly.
Yes. What we really want people to do now, the Sickle Cell Association is a group of volunteers. I am the chairperson presently of this association, and we would want people just to come out. We are out there in the communities. For example, today we are part of a health fair in the ministerial complex in the Botanical Gardens in St. George's. Next week, on the 28th, we will be at Foodland on the Lagoon Road. Wherever the people are, somebody is staging a health fair, nowadays we are generally invited to be part of that health fair so that we are available to the public. But members of the public do not need to wait for a health fair to speak to somebody within our association to find out or to ask a question or to get any clarification. The phone number for the association is 458-6399. 458-6399. We also have a very active Facebook page, and people can access the Facebook page, of course, 24 hours a day to find out what we are doing, who we are. There may be people in there. You will see the faces of the people who are members of the association, and you want someone may be comfortable with a particular person and want to speak to that particular person. We have qualified nurses, a number of whom are retired. We have people who work in the laboratory at the hospital and in other organizations, or the medical labs and so on. You can speak to them. You can just call the association. You can leave a message on the Facebook page, anything of that nature, and we'll be so willing to help you.
Okay. How can one become a member?
I would just like to let people know some of the other activities that we are having in this particular week. Today, of course, we are with you at RealFM. This evening, we will also be on a program on GBN Radio and TV, which is Doctor on Call. Today, also during the course of the day, as I've already said, we will be in a health fair. On Wednesday, we will be laying a wreath at the grave of Walter Clement Noel. We have been doing that since 2016, repeatedly, and so every year we do it. This year, some students from New Life Organization have been invited to be part of that memorial service, I would call it, at the graveside of Walter Clement Noel. We want to thank one of the places in Grenville, Touch of Elegance, that have kindly donated the wreath that will be laid. And there will be adults there who know about the conditions, so they're giving the historical background of the situation in Walter Clement Noel. And come Thursday, there's a quiz that is also going on a couple of radio stations, including the one in Carriacou, and there'll be small prizes for people. And on Friday, we will be having a mass, a service at the Catholic Church in Grand Anse, and that will be televised so that people, and it will be on Facebook and so on, so people can join in and just kind of pay homage to the important role that NULO, yes, now is on board, but the Sickle Cell Association plays in the whole aspect of sickle cell disease in the whole wide world. Because if Walter Clement Noel had not been diagnosed with sickle cell, many, many people would have died from a condition and they didn't know what it was. He also had relatives who died early in their early life. And maybe they died from sickle cell, but at the time it would have been put down to maybe a chest infection, a stroke, whatever, not really knowing that it was because their blood cells and because they had this inherited condition. So Grenada is important in saving and sparing the lives of many, many people throughout the whole wide world.
Okay.
We would also want people to know that if you are a young sickle cell sufferer and you want any advice about setting up a small business, about how to earn your own living, because you may be, you may have illnesses from time to time, and sometimes, unfortunately, employers are not able to be as tolerant as they would like to be with people who are constantly, going into crisis and not unwell and not be able to perform as well as they could. So we help to support people if they are able to and they want to start a business. We've actually held training centers for that. We've held a camp for children in school who are sickle cell sufferers, so that they know each other and they know how to manage their condition and how to know that they're not alone in this fight with this condition, which can cause them so much pain. We want to encourage parents to take your children to the clinics that are operated by the Sickle Cell Association in collaboration with the Ministry of Health. And those clinics are held for children only up to the age of 18, one in the St. George's in the health center there, and the other one in Grand Bras in the health center there. And of course, there are experienced doctors and experienced and qualified nurses who run those clinics and who would be in touch with you. And they are members, at least the nurses are members of the Sickle Cell Association of Grenada, and they are retired nurses from the Ministry of Health. So all of those things are happening, and we are encouraging, we are begging, we are pleading with people to take the opportunity to do so. We don't want cases where, like a gentleman told me recently that he knew his fiancée had a trait, but he didn't know he had a trait, and he didn't take the opportunity to be tested. Then they had a son, and the son is a full-blown sickler. He doesn't just have the trait, he's a full-blown sickler, and he's going through school at the moment. So they are with him and supporting their son, but they can see the crisis that he goes into from time to time, and it is very, very difficult for them to support and to see their son having to suffer like that. If they had been kind of forewarned and he knew he had a trait, then of course they would have been prepared for what's happening to their offspring.
Can I stop in here? One moment, please. How can one become a member of the association?
Okay. To become a member is pretty easy. You just need to express one's intention to do that. Call the Sickle Cell Association, 458-6399, or just go onto the Facebook page. You can just Google Sickle Cell Grenada, and you will see the information there, and you can call, or you can just put a message, or you can call me. There's no issue. My number is 535-1885, and we'll be really, really happy to hear you and to get you involved in the association. Okay. All our members are voluntary members of the group, and very, very hard workers, and so we are really grateful to them for the work they're doing.
How old was...
We go out in the field, and there are 10 points about sickle cell, 10 basic facts, which we would like every person in Grenada to know. So we are spreading those facts far and wide, and on the bottom of those facts is also the information to become a member, the phone numbers, etc. So as we go out there, as we ask everybody we come in contact with to take a photograph on their phone with the 10 points, the 10 basic facts, and to spread it to all their contacts. And over the last year, definitely, we would say we hope that many thousands of people would have that information on their phones, so that it's not being kept to themselves alone, but we are asking them to spread it. If you spread it to all your contacts, then the message will be far and wide, and people can contact us. And we have had people contact the association through that kind of spreading of the information through the 10 basic facts.
Okay. You spoke about people getting tested for sickle cell anemia when they have the traits and everything like that. Here's the question. How old was Walter Clement when he was diagnosed with sickle cell?
He was still in his early 30s. Walter Clement, lived. He was born 1884, and he died in 1916. when he got unwell, as I said, as a dental student,
Mm-hmm.
and he had his diagnosis then, he was still in his 20s. He came back to Grenada. He started practicing. Of course, he was unwell a lot some of the time, but he eventually passed away in the year 1916. So we know he was only 32 years old when he died. So he would have been diagnosed in his late 20s.
Now, it has been said that we all know people from African descendants suffer with the disease. Black people, let me put it straight, black people suffer with sickle cell anemia.
Yes.
But lately I've discovered that people in the Maldives also has sickle cell and the disease. Do you know much about that?
Right. Well, all of those bits of information are coming to light now because there's so much information, and there may be genetic other orientations and so on, which could cause people to have those. Because it is said that people who suffer from sickle cell disease or have sickle cell trait, that they have a certain, it gives them a certain amount of protection against certain conditions, like malaria and so on, which is why it has been said that people from the African continent and so on often, are more prone to that condition. So there may be reasons why these things are coming to light, why the blood cells are not round as they should be, but they have a different shape, a sickle shape. So we are constantly looking for the research. We are constantly getting affiliated with organizations in Canada, in the United States, anywhere throughout the world for those kinds of conditions that are affecting people's blood situation, so that we can all band together and see what are all of the causes, how we can help people to protect themselves when they have those conditions, how they can live a good life, and how we can support them and advise individuals and groups accordingly about the precautions they should be taking and how they can, live as healthy a life as possible. And I have no doubt that as we go on, other things will come to light. For example, blood transfusions, maybe even not just total protection, but maybe a healing process, which would mean that people's blood, all your blood will have to be exchanged, and all of those things that can happen. But those things are really in the infancy. So we know that we need to be on the ball and to keep abreast of all of the research throughout.
Now,
I'm glad you brought that to light.
Now, I know there is the monument, the plaque over at the St. Patrick's Catholic Cemetery.
Yes.
Is
where the wreath will be laid today.
Is the association planning on doing anything else to say they have a Walter Clement Noel monument or something of that sort, or name something after that?
One thing we've already done is that there is a postage stamp, which the Grenada Postal Corporation has in its archives, which the Sickle Cell Association initiated some time ago, and we've recently had meetings with the CEO of the Grenada Postal Corporation, and we've asked them to bring that up again and to see if that can be made known to everybody and can be sold to philatelists, that is people who collect stamps, and anybody in Grenada who would like to know about that. We've also been in contact with the Grenada Museum and the History Society in Grenada, so that we are beginning to work and to have dialogue with them. We have had contact with the Grenada Tourism Authority more in the past, but this year again we have had meetings with them, and at least I shouldn't say with them, but we've specifically had a meeting with the person responsible for the communications aspect and marketing aspect of things, to ask them to collaborate with us and to join again, so that we can bring more of this to light. In fact, the museum has said that this year they are hoping to have within the museum which of course is in St. George's, and I guess they would go out into the parishes with an exhibition of Walter Clement Noel and his place and the significance of him in the whole sickle cell business.
Now, because I know how damaging sickle cells can be to your body and everything like that, what is the lifespan for a sickle cell person with the disease?
Okay. There was a time when it was thought that people died as early as Walter Clement Noel and even before the age of 32.
Mhm.
But now people can live very long lives. We had somebody in Grenada that the Sickle Cell Association is very aware of, who lived well into she was 78, I believe, late 70s. I have a friend in England who has been a sickler, of course, is a sickler, and she's had 2 sons, she's got a grandchild, and she's 74 years old. So people can live very long into their 70s and 80s and beyond. I don't know anybody who's 80 and above, but I do know people that are very late 70s. And I can say that the Sickle Cell Association, in helping to support people to remind them about eating well, about keeping hydrated, when they get a crisis, when they're in pain, to seek medical advice, to attend the clinic. Prevention is always better than cure, that they can live a long life. They will live a long life. I'm not saying that they will live pain-free, because those are things that happen, and sometimes depending on the condition, situation, and other things that are going on in one's body, things may come together and cause those kinds of issues. But we do know that people can live very long lives. So we just want people to be aware so that they take care.
I know of a woman that was in her 80s that lived in Canada. She's on record as the oldest sickle cell person in that lived with the disease. So, a lot of...
in Grenada, we've certainly had somebody 78.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, it is a disease that has no cure based on what it is. Do you know if any progress has been made towards that?
Yes, progress is being made, but it's a step-by-step situation. It is extremely slow at this time, and we cannot say. We do not want to go around saying to people, well, it doesn't matter if you get sickle cell, don't bother to be tested because you can be cured. It's not as easy as that, and even the cures that are being, or the main cure that's being thought about, which really has to do with exchange of blood and all of those things, is really a long and painful process. So we do want people, prevention is always better than cure, awareness is better than cure, and to keep abreast as far as possible with the things that are happening, the progress that is being made, individually for anybody who is out there, and also for the association, so that we can advise and let people know what is necessary. Let me, at this time, bring to the fore that every baby that is born in Grenada over the last 10 years or so is being automatically tested.
That's great.
At birth within the maternity services, whether in St. George's Hospital, in Carriacou, in St. Andrews, wherever in the district, wherever a baby is born, that test is done automatically. Ladies who get pregnant and go to the maternity unit or see their midwife or their doctor, they are also tested for a sickle cell trait if they've never been tested before or they don't have any proof of what their status is. All men are being encouraged, but certainly there will be a time in Grenada in the next many years when there'll be no need for the Sickle Cell Association to have to do testing of persons, because everybody should know their status, either by being tested at birth or by being tested when they became pregnant. And the mothers, of course, but then it gives the partner the opportunity also to offer themselves or to come forward for testing.
Now,
a sickle cell test at the moment costs approximately $20.
Okay.
I say approximately because the different laboratories have different costs. But the Sickle Cell Association has an ongoing working relationship with a particular lab, and we pay the laboratory for every test that we take, every sample of blood that is collected through the Sickle Cell Association is paid for by the Sickle Cell Association, so that it makes it easier. And we don't want people to go away and think, well, if I have $20, and it's a choice between food and knowing my status. So we don't we don't want them to have to make that choice when, in a way, it's a choice it can be a choice between life and illness and pain and everything else.
Okay.
So we have that, and if you are not at a testing center when we are there, one can always call the Sickle Cell Association and ask about that testing, and we would facilitate.
Okay. We have 3 minutes left to the 8 o'clock hour. I just want you to give the locations where you're going to be for the next week or so, next couple of weeks or next couple of days, so that people can come get themselves tested.
Okay. Today, between the hours of 10 and 2, we will be in the complex. This has been put on by the by the government of Grenada through there, and we are invited. Next week, on the 28th, we will be from midday, from 12 o'clock to 5 p.m. We will be at Foodland on the Corona James Boulevard, and this has been put on by Huggins, and we've been invited to be a part of that. It's very rare that we just go out and set up ourselves and do one. We did one with the Catholic Church recently and so on. But as soon as anybody invites us, whether it happens to be the Seventh-day Adventist Health Mission, the Catholic Mission, any religious group, any organization, any youth group, anyone that has a health fair or is coordinating a health fair and invites the Sickle Cell Association of Grenada to be a part of that, then we will be present and offer the services.
Thank you.
I want to reiterate that one doesn't have to wait for that. Just call the association. Anybody who is out there, if RealFM is thinking of hosting anything of that nature, or any other person who is listening at this time, you can call the Sickle Cell Association of Grenada on 458-6399, and we would be happy to be part of the process or to set it up independently.
Thank you. I'd like to say thank you to you and the association for really spreading it out there, making people become aware of how dangerous sickle cell disease can be. Because like you said, it affects from your toe to your head. And the more people are aware of it, the quicker that they can get themselves in a better frame to deal with it, because it is not an easy situation to deal with. So thank you again. Hopefully next time around we'll be able to have some more information as details come through us. If we have a cure that is making progress, that you will tell us all about it. So thank you again, Ms. Entwine, and have yourself a great day.
Thank you, and I would just like to say to you personally, I'm so happy that this morning you are somebody who is aware of the situation, and to say to you, we will make personal contact with you, because you will be picking up information that you can pass to us as well.
All right, thank you.
God bless you, and thank you very much.
You're
Goodbye
welcome.
to the public.
Okay, bye-bye.
Where you walk, what you say, when you talk, where you go, where you walk, what you say, when you talk.
It's a hungry world out there, with everybody scrambling to get a share. Wolves in sheep clothing, birds of prey waiting to swoop down on you, and there's no telling what they'll do. You gotta be careful. You gotta be careful.
If you're looking to improve or maintain your health, look no further. We have a general practitioner right here on Main Street, Sates in the Kweze. Dr. Guerra, a gynecologist and surgeon who specializes in women's health. She offers lab tests, blood, pap smears, prostate cancer, and stool tests. We now have a portable EKG machine that gives you accurate readings by using just 2 fingers. And that's not all. If you're suffering from any respiratory conditions such as asthma, bronchitis, COPD, or seasonal allergies, we have a nebulizer machine that can safely treat these. Consultation for pregnant women from beginning to end. Surgeries, which includes hysterectomy, tying of tubes, vaginal shrinking, removal of uterine fibroids, vaginal warts, hernias, and C-sections. She also specializes in diagnostic and therapeutic DNC, abnormal bleeding. Eye testing is also available at the clinic by appointment only with Dr. Mabel Veritas Lugo. They are in collaboration with Alice Labs, located in St. George, opposite the Excel Plaza. Walk-ins are accepted. You can also call for an appointment at 423-3352 or our landline at 444-4272. That number's again 423-3352 or 444-4272. Put your health first.
I remember when this beach was really wide, a place to picnic and play cricket.
And we used to go up to the end to get away from all the people. Now all the beach gone.
Coastal erosion. When the sea starts to come in and take the land away, everyone loses something.
Granny, look how the waves are washing right under that house.
Coastal erosion. It's a hazard. Hazards. Take control. Reduce your loss. What can you do to help stop coastal erosion? For one, don't drive four-wheel vehicles on seaside dunes. They loosen sand and destroy binding vegetation, causing erosion. Find out more about coastal erosion and other hazards at your local disaster office. A message from your National Disaster Office and Sedera.
Who wants to save 30%? Everybody! Now more than ever, Flow understands the need to make your dollar stretch. Our new bundles can help you save 30% off your current bill. Plus, get a free speed upgrade on your in-home internet. Simply add your mobile to your current home services account and save 30%. It's easy. Sign up now and save. All on the most reliable fixed and mobile network on island. Visit a Flow store or call us at 1-800-804-2994 for more information. Flow, it only gets better. Terms and conditions apply.
The NLA is giving you more chances to multiply your Playway winnings by adding Multi-X to your regular Playway bets to win up to 5 times more. Imagine winning as much as $1,200 instead of $240 with a $10 Playway bet by simply adding Multi-X. Place your Playway bets from $1 to $10 or in increments on your favorite Playway symbols or numbers. Then add the Multi-X option at the same value to win 2 times, 3 times, 5 times more, or free plays. With Multi-X, you must bet the same amount wagered on your regular Playway bets for your winnings to be multiplied. Grenadians, value your dreams and win your way as much as 5 times more with Multi-X added to Playway and watch your money grow. Must be 18 years or older to play. NLA, making your dreams come true.
Where you walk, what you say, when you talk, where you go, where you walk, what you say, when you talk.
It's a hungry world out there, with everybody scrambling to get a share. Wolves in sheep clothing, birds of prey waiting to swoop down on you, and there's no telling what they'll do. You gotta be careful. You gotta be careful.
Good morning, Jester. I couldn't say good morning to you when you came in because I was indisposed. So I'm saying good morning to you now. How are you?
Claire, good morning to you and to the listeners of Real 91.9, 91.5. Also those listening in the diaspora, right, via the internet.
So I have to go back now and say good morning to a few people here. I did say good morning to Gemma Wood while she was offline. Marlon Klein also, good morning to you. Keith Lausin, good morning. Oh, thank you for checking in. Lorna Bill, good morning. And the topic that we had was on sickle cell anemia and the disease. And Lorna says a good practice is to test at birth. This is done routinely in Canada as sickle cell is common among black population, which is true, as I mentioned that to her. Denise Roberts, good morning. Teresa Joseph, good morning. Pearl Lewis, good morning. And now that we're doing mental health, and everything we kind of touch just is affecting your mental health.
Well, of course.
Everything. So when you think about it, even though you are sick, say you're sick and you have a family, you are not the only one that is sick in that family. The whole family is sick, so it affects you mentally. So when people see you and they talk about, oh, that didn't bother me, and that's not true. No, it's not. Unless you do not have a heart, or you have no compassion, or you have no pity for anybody, because it is any sickness at all that you have, once it is terminal, it is a mental stress for anybody. And that's why they say on the airport, when they says you're going to Terminal 1 and you're taking a plane, you know what that means? You're going to Terminal 2. You may not reach where you're going, because it's the terminal thing about the airport. So they may have to change the name of that thing. Because people like me that are afraid to fly most of the time, and they talk about terminal, it's like, am I going to get where I'm going, or am I just going to disappear into the Bermuda Triangle, as they say?
Yeah, speaking about that, we had a small plane that crashed into the waters just outside.
Yeah, but the people are fortunate. They got them alive.
Yes, I think it's very important that to give some credit to the Coast Guard and thing. They reacted really, really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that
I
really,
heard
really
that's
was
good.
We must commend their,
Yeah. So, now last week, and I said, and I'm not begging, I'm telling you, to call and make a contribution towards this program today. I mean, you could call every time there's a thing, but today. Because last week, a gentleman called and he talked about authority and how, most of us don't respect authority. And Lorna Bain, that is online and listening, she also made a point about how we respect authority, who we don't respect, and who we should respect. But it says an indicator of good mental health, and that is talking about authority also. It says respect for authority is an indicator of good mental health. And you may ask, well, why and how does that play into it? It says, moreover, it prevents individuals from being harmed or harming others. Individuals that have a pathological disrespect for authority are known as antisocial. So you see where it comes, mental health and that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It says, although antisocial individuals can intellectually comprehend rules, they cannot understand why they should be respected. Most normal individuals have an innate understanding of why it is important for them to respect authority. And it says, collective security. So even that, security. It says, when individuals respect the authority of social norms or law, it assures mutual security. When people break law, they may harm or infringe on the rights of those around them. For example, a person that drinks and drives could cause a tragic accident. Individuals respect authority because they understand that doing so produces collective security. Ain't that the truth?
I would like for you to repeat that again.
Ain't that the truth? I repeat it. It says that, when a person breaks the law, they may harm or infringe on the rights of those around them. For example, a person that drinks and drives could cause a tragic accident. So individuals respect authority because they understand that doing so produces collective security. So we are all secure. We have in our being when we respect authority. I think we have a call. Good morning. Good morning.
Morning.
How are you?
Morning, Miss Cammy.
Miss Cammy, how are you?
Good morning to this beautiful lady.
Good morning to you, Miss Cammy.
How you all doing there?
We
morning,
good.
Grenada, Caravan, well, I was listening to the lady and she's talking about it because I have a friend that I know she's suffering with that for years, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
There's no cure for it at the moment, so it's something that is forever. Yeah.
Sickness, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Well, look at me. My whole body hurting me. pain all over. I don't know if it's COVID again. You understand? And you can't see a doctor when you go to the center. The amount of people are there. I don't know what's going on. So I want to appeal to the Prime Minister of this country that we need some medication and we need nurses and doctors. Somebody nurses tired. Because when you go in the health center, you're sitting only for the whole day.
Mm.
When you go to the general hospital again, they're telling you, hold on, you don't have nobody, you want to have blood test, they can't give you the result. They're telling you to go back in some private place. Suppose you don't have money, as a purpose you don't have money. Well, yeah, for people in this country and the government have to provide things for the people that cannot pay.
Mm.
So I'm calling on you, Mr. Deacon Mitchell, please, sir.
Okay. So
we need some help.
So Cammy,
as for people.
Cammy, today
Yeah.
I know it's affecting your mental health, but today we are doing a different one. Tomorrow is Political Wednesday. You can call and just let yourself loose on that, because I cannot.
Health, you know,
yes,
today.
Mental health, mental.
Well, so you go hear what I'm saying.
Okay.
Okay. Tomorrow is politics. Tomorrow is not about health.
All right.
It's about health.
Right.
Look at me, I'm body hurting me.
I got you.
And I cannot get certain things in the pharmacy. Even if I have $20 and I go, they don't have. So they need to do better than that. Because we need some medication. Somebody knows it's tired. You can't get doctor. That is not right. So somebody has to speak about it, because talking about health. Have a good day.
Thank you. You too, baby. Okay, bye-bye. Yes. Yeah, in a way, we're talking about health, but mentally, and that again could affect people, because if you're not getting the medication and you're worried about where it's coming from, and so it could affect you mentally, and sometimes it makes what you have get a bit worse than it should be. Is that right?
Yes, of course. So Cammy being our first caller.
Mm-hmm.
Claire.
Yes,
No.
Coming being our first call.
Yeah,
so we're talking about the authority, how people should respect authority. And it says individual safety, even collectively, and even as an individual. It says authority figures often establish rules to protect the safety of individuals. These types of rules are encountered early in people's lives, when the parents say something such as, "You are not allowed to play with the light sockets." And we all say that to our children. As such, people respect authority because they know that doing so will promote them from harming themselves. So if you have a child, and once we have electricity at home, we will have those sockets. And you have your child, and children, when they're starting to crawl around, they're inquisitive, they want to know what's going on, they push toys in there, they push their fingers, and at an early age you say, don't play with this. So the next thing you do, you cover them. And if they are smart enough, they will pull them out. So again, that is a way that they respect the authority of their parents. By not playing in the electrical sockets, by not doing what the parents ask them not to. And as we said, there are some of us as children that, as I say, we are hard-headed. And as I say, we have to learn the hard way. Because you tell them not to do it, but the moment you turn your back, they go and they do it. And sometimes they get caught, or they get a little zzz from the socket that they're playing in, and you hear they scream out. And they did not listen when you say, do not touch or do not play with the socket.
But the thing is, I think it was fitting that we really define the authority, so they know, because sometimes the way some people behave, you're wondering if they don't understand what authority really means.
You see, yeah, you're right. Because you see, sometimes people, when you hear the word authority, you think about somebody want to rule me or somebody wants to tell me what to do. In a sense, yes, because, okay, let's put it that way. We have the government and they make laws and they pass laws and they have principles. You know, laws can be broken, principles cannot be, right? So I could break the law, you could break the law. They will tell you, do not drive on the right side of the road, but you would break that law and drive on the right side when you know it's on the left you have to drive, just because you could. So you break that law. But that's the authority that told us when they make the laws not to do that. But you see, a lot of us do not want anybody, or we don't take any advice from anybody above or to tell us to do something. And that's what it is. Authority doesn't mean that we have a stick over you and beating it into you, telling you, you have to do this and you have to do that. No, it's a guidance for us as human beings in whichever country that you live in the world.
But do you know that we tend to operate quite a lot in that way, where you make mention of the big stick? Like if somebody is not wrong over you, that you don't adhere. And I've seen it happening in
everywhere.
So many different ways.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
We have a call. Let's see. Good morning.
Good morning to you, Cliff.
Good morning, Miss Matheson. How are you?
Good morning, Mrs. Matheson.
And good morning to you, Jester.
Morning, Mom.
I can't. That's the first time.
I know.
Yeah. I'm still recovering.
That's good. That's good. I'm happy to hear your voice because I keep saying good morning to you and hope you're feeling well. And finally you called, so that means you're getting there.
Yeah. Oh, yes. I'm getting there. I could walk much better now.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm eating a bit more now. So it's not too bad.
Good, good.
God is good.
I'm really, really happy to hear you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Well, I heard you talking this morning about the sickle cell.
Mm-hmm.
You understand about the sickle cell? I heard you talking the program.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent program to bring to the forefront of to the nation. Let the people understand the seriousness of sickle cell anemia. A lot of people don't know, and a lot of people I realize they have the complaint with pains in the joint all over at certain time, and they don't understand what it is. And the doctors, some of the doctors so pressed out, they will dismiss it, and they not go home, do this, and like you haven't got a cure. I saw a lot of people, young people, during my time, and when I was away, that they lost the son, they lost the daughter, very, very young, and it is so heartbroken. Even this morning, we lost one of our member of our family, close member of our family, to the same problem, right? Really, really heartbreaking, and hence the reason why I pick up the phone and say, let me call. My voice, I can't read it.
I get it, I understand.
Yes.
But thank you so much. Yeah.
So let me call. Bring it to the attention to the people, because our nation is increasing and we're more knowledgeable now. Before, when we didn't have no knowledge and we're ignorant of the fact, we didn't know better. And we don't want to be in the dark. We want to be in the light, because all other countries recognize that. And instead, as the lady was saying, that concerning us, they must understand each other, because some of them, they're carriers, and you could be a carrier. Two negatives, they end up making a positive. And then that's what the children, the offspring having this problem, and the parents are in trouble from day one, because sooner or later, when it's so bad, you have it so bad, it will claim your life. That red sickle cell, that red cell is trapping in the vein, and it cannot go through the vein. They all bundle up. I used to call it, I look at it like red beans or black eyed peas.
Yeah, cluster together.
They cluster together, and they can go on every joint in your body. That area sometimes pain. I see young children crying. So it is very, very good. The Grenadian people should be very, very educated in it, and educate the Grenadian people to be aware what we're facing, right? And that's why, again, it's a very bad thing. When you see cousin married in cousin, family married in family, it is not a very good thing. Because we cannot wipe away the problem that facing the family ever so often. You got to wipe it away.
Yeah.
So whosoever they pick to marry to, leave them alone, because God is in control. not us.
Yeah.
But God knows better. Because by marrying the same family group, that same family tree, you inherited that problem. And then you there, you is the mother, you is the father, you're not so bad. Because poor value is negative, right? And you have, you just carry the, you just have a trait. But then the offspring, positive. And even if you have 5, one of them, they come out positive, and I see it happen. Because death in the family. And it's not very nice.
Thank you.
I'm listening to your program.
Thank you very much. And speedy recovery.
Oh, God, I'm trying.
Keep trying.
Yeah, trying.
Thank you.
God is good.
All right.
Have a nice day.
You too.
Have a nice day.
Have a lovely day, Miss Matheson.
Bye-bye.
You too. Yeah, bye-bye. Bye.
Yes. So again, this is stress mentally. It affects each and every one of us, especially those who are going through that disease in the family. And I know if a family wiped out the whole family. There were 7 of them.
Sickle cell.
Mm-hmm. And you see, as Anne says, if the father has the traits and the mother have the traits and they did not get tested, the children come out with a full-blown disease. Yeah. And it's not something that you want to say. The last girl, I know she died at the age of 20-something. And she said when the pain takes her, it was like a Mack truck that was going at her. It was that bad. I think we have a call. Good morning.
Morning, how are you?
I am good, thank you. How are you?
Good morning.
I'm listening to the program. It's kind of interesting. You're talking about authorities and rules, right? Authority for children and for adults are not the same.
Yeah.
Adults and children are 2 different subjects when you're dealing with authority. Children are minors. They can make their own decisions. Adults are different. Adults become adults at a certain age where you have responsibility and you become part of society. You participate in every aspect of society as an adult. Join a religion of your own and other organizations on your own. Whether it's cultural, political, religious, as an adult, right? So, every society is deviant. And if people don't break the law, then you don't get change. But sometimes you could break the law when you shouldn't break the law. So it's a very wide discussion on authority because people break the law for different reasons.
Mm-hmm.
You could be just deviant, and you could create a cult and break society rules, as well as you break the law if you don't satisfy with society, you don't satisfy with rules in workplaces. It's a very wide topic when you use the word authority.
It is, but we still have to.
If nobody ever breaks the law or break the rules, you don't get change. You understand?
I understand totally what you're saying. But my thing is, what I'm talking about with authority, yes, people break the law, and that's the first point that I made. People break laws. And that's because laws are made. But at the same time, though, even though you break the law, that doesn't mean that I have to break the law. Because it is there for a purpose. It is there to protect each and every one of us, regardless of what we think. You may break the law because you feel that you can do it because nobody can tell you what to do. I won't break the law because I want what is best for me and my children and whoever it is around me so that they wouldn't get harm or harm themselves. This is the sort of authority I'm talking about. I'm not talking about authorization where somebody is telling you, like, I make that law and each and every one of you has to obey it. Because we know people do that. And there are some countries that you break the law there and you're dealt with drastically. Because they made the law so that we can all benefit from what it is.
Yeah, but societies that have drastic law does not necessarily solve the problem because
I'm not. Listen. I am not talking about problem solving. I think you miss what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about solving the problem because I cannot solve it. No one, most of us cannot solve the problem as to what it is going on. We are talking about authority and how we should respect authority. Show respect for it, because if you have your children in your home, if you have children, or you have a wife in your home, the first thing you will say, she'd say something, you're disrespecting me. Or your children, do not disrespect me because I am your father. This is the sort of authority, because you have the authority over your children. You get where I'm coming from?
You're talking about family laws, right? Laws, right?
No.
Right, okay. Right.
This is part of it, but not it.
Authority from a broader perspective.
It is from a broader perspective, but because if you listen along while I'm going along, you will see what I'm talking about, and if you want to call back, you are welcome to.
No, I wouldn't call back. I just say it's a wide topic. You know?
Yes, it is.
Anyway, I'm listening.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay, bye-bye.
Yeah, that's clear. The subject is it's very.
It is wide.
Yeah,
it's like everything else. It's a wide subject, but I'm not versed enough to go dealing with I'm based on what I do research on, because I don't want anybody to come at me or come at you saying that Claire said that or Jester said that. I am doing the research as to what it is, and I'm going to stick to it. And if there is any other way that I can deal with it, and I have someone that I can bring in to talk about it, then so be it. But right now, I'm sticking with what it is that I did research on, because I don't want to lead anybody off in any wrong way or so. So here it says about avoiding negative consequences of not respecting authority. It says when personal or collective safety is not enough to motivate respect for authority, individuals may choose to obey the rules in order to avoid punishment. Right? It says when individuals choose to ignore authority, they expose themselves to persecution. For example, a drug dealer may care little about his personal health or that of his clients, but the threat of jail may be enough to deter him.
Of course.
I think we have a call and we'll come back to that. Good morning.
Good morning, Miss Claire.
Good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Mr. Jester.
Good morning, Miss Kenru.
I live in now, but I have to say something.
Tell me.
About that sickle cell.
Mm-hmm.
I know sickle cell is worse than any other complainer.
Mm.
You know why I say that?
Tell me.
My good son, what Papa Gaddy lent me, he take it back now. His daddy die off.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
He died when he was 38
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's Ron, right?
Yes, and when that complaint come on that child can come down better.
Mm-hmm. It's very, very, very bad.
I have to take it 2 foot first and turn it down on the bed, like when you're coming down the bed, and raise him from his waist. He had the waist to come down to put him. He have a stick, and I still start putting him to go in the bathroom. He cannot even bend down to wash his foot. He can't even bend down to put his backside. Me what have to do all that for him. I'm talking about when he's in the house, you know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
When he's sick and he go in the hospital every day. It's a bad complaint. Very, very bad complaint.
It is.
And that child had that complaint. And that child going in hospital every month, and then twice for the month. All doctor bring that child to, they couldn't find the child complaint. When the invasion and the Cuban doctor and them come here, when the complaint come on the child, you have to raise him to bring him go. Big man, I'm telling you, you have to raise him to bring him go. And if they detect that is what he have. And they start giving him treatment to treat where you're taking him, but like you don't treat for it. You just get a ease up.
Demerol or morphine, that's the 2 they give you to kill the pain.
Yes, it does help him with the pain. And I live in, but I say no, I have to come and say something, because if I don't come and say something about that sickle cell, it's like I do a crime this morning.
We don't want you to do that at all.
Because I know it's a very bad complaint.
It is.
And people watching sickle cell. Simple. When they tell you you have sickle cell, don't have baby, you have to hear because you're restoring your life. But some don't hear. When you hear they have sickle cell and they're pregnant and look the baby save and they die. You have to listen. One life you have. You have a lot of clothes. You could wait every minute. But one life you have to take care of the life. So I don't dare to hear you again because I'm going by my brother.
Okay. Have yourself a great day now. Are you walking or you running?
I think I'm walking to get a bus.
Okay.
She had 3 legs. She walking on the 3 legs.
I'm walking to get a bus. And then when I get the bus, I use me 3 legs.
Oh, okay. Have a good day now.
All right.
Take care. Okay, bye-bye.
Have a lovely day, Kenro.
Same to you.
All right. Nice.
Now we're going for a commercial break here, Jester.
Yes.
Inside, immerse yourself in colors that come alive.
Color by Sickle.
Let your imagination run wild. Surround yourself in a world of color.
Color by Sickle.
Endless inspiration. Bold expression. Bold expression.
Color by Sickle. Sissons. Express your style with Color by Sissons.
The NLA is giving you more chances to multiply your Playway winnings by adding Multi-X to your regular Playway bets to win up to 5 times more. Imagine winning as much as $1,200 instead of $240 with a $10 Playway bet by simply adding Multi-X. Place your Playway bets from $1 to $10 or in increments on your favorite Playway symbols or numbers. Then add the Multi-X option at the same value to win 2 times, 3 times, 5 times more, or free plays. With Multi-X, you must bet the same amount wagered on your regular Playway bets for your winnings to be multiplied. Grenadians, value your dreams and win your way as much as 5 times more. With Multi-X added to Playway and watch your money grow. Must be 18 years or older to play. NLA, making your dreams come true.
M&M Hardware Limited, Hope St. Andrew and Dusty Highway St. George. Shop conveniently for all your building materials including plumbing, electrical, lumber, cement, steel and much more. We manufacture roofing sheets available in 11 colors, aluminum windows, doors, insect screens and hurricane shutters. Installation services are available for all our manufactured products. Our opening hours are Monday to Friday 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., Saturdays 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. M&M Hardware Limited. Come on in and experience our affordable prices or call us 444-6757 or 440-6757 Dusty Highway. Email us at info@mahonhardware.com or mnmdusty@mahonhardware.com. M&M Hardware, foundation to roof. Let's build together.
The first word when you speak about furniture is classic. Yes, at Classic Furniture, they design and make the best in local furniture. All their products are made from the finest local wood available on island. You think it, they design it and make it to your expectations. The highest standards at the best possible price, and they also provide higher purchase for you, their valued customers. Located on Ben Jones Street in Grenville, with their factory at Chantimel in St. Patrick. That's where you need to visit when looking for products made of the finest local wood. They deliver and install items at no extra cost. Your satisfaction is their mission. The extra step is taken to ensure their customers are completely satisfied. They do doors and finished kitchens, supplies mattresses, and restores antique pieces to look like the first day they were made. Hey, give us a call on 442-4645 and 442-9726. Classic Furniture, Grenada's homegrown furniture producers.
You know, Jester, this morning I forgot totally about Velma's restaurant and bar breakfast. So I hope it's not too late for the hungry ones that are waiting to hear what she has on the menu this morning. It is coconut bakes, sausage, egg omelette, fried chicken, That's for, and ground provision. That is what you're getting this morning for your breakfast. You also have local herbal tea. For lunch, you have stew pork, rice with lentil peas, stewed chicken, fish, green salad, macaroni pie, again, ground provisions. And you always get your local fruit juices. And for dinner, burgers and fries. The staple of dinner, burgers and fries. So again, for breakfast, coconut bakes, sausage, egg omelette, fried chicken, ground provision, local herbal tea to go along with the thing for breakfast this morning. For lunch again, stew pork, rice with lentil peas, stew chicken, fish, green salad, macaroni pie, ground provision. And don't forget your local juices. And for dinner, burgers and fries.
I must commend her for the breakfast really this morning, because there is a wide variety, Claire, you know. In days I was growing up as a boy, you know, people,
so
to me,
what you grew up as
lunch.
What you grew up as
I'm
now?
a man now.
Oh, okay, so
I'm
go
no
ahead.
longer a boy.
Okay.
To me, breakfast used to be lunch, because
yes,
people used to
fig
be
and
eating
salvia,
food.
fig and smoke, carrot cake, fig and the coconut oil and the copper black veggie. So she back to roots. Back to roots. Yes, so that's it for Velma's this morning for breakfast. So just we're going back to our topic this morning on respect for authority. You were making a point and say that, you know, people believe in the having that big stick over them to make them, you know, to respect the rules that you make, or to do what they're asked to do. And that's what that point is making here, that, you know, if you don't do that, you cannot motivate respect. People don't obey the rules. And some do it because they fear that they are going to be punished. It's like our children. When we tell them not to do something, they do it. You get out your wooden spoon, or you get out you give them a couple, so that if they know that they're going to be punished, then they will avoid doing that. Whereas, you know, it is for our own health, our own being. Because some adults that avoid breaking the rules, they're okay, they live like you and I. We avoid breaking the rules, and we are here enjoying what it is that the rules give, the authority provide us to protect us. Others who do not, they may end up in jail, or even worse, at the cemetery.
Yeah. You know, and the reason why I came up with the big stick thing, Claire, because even simply around the construction site, which, you know, very much being a part of based on my profession. And at times when the builder is not around, and you'll see some workers just, you know, what you call the skulk. You know, that one of the words, you know, they take their own merry time, they look to scheme, and then if they see the boss man coming now, they look to scramble up and try to give the impression that they've been doing something. So I've seen it happening in so many ways, and that's just a typical example using the construction site. But what they're not realizing is that, okay, the builder, he is providing a job for you, so it's better you do and give the honest production, you know, for your pay. So then you could attain the job at a much faster rate, so that you can go on and get a next job. But a lot of them, they are not seeing it that way.
They're not seeing the big picture at all.
That way.
No. And the thing is, when you do that, you put in more pressure on yourself. They don't realize it yet, on themselves, or on the whole atmosphere of where they work. Because if I am going to be scheming all the time, and somebody calls, I go apply for a job somewhere else, and somebody calls you and say, okay, Claire is here applying for a job. What sort of worker is she? Then you have to say, oh, well, Claire does not follow the rules. She does whatever it is. Tell me, you're getting a job or not?
You're getting a job.
Thank
because
you very much.
They won't recommend you.
Exactly.
I think we have a call.
Yes, we do. Good morning.
Good morning. Coffee in the morning.
Well, here you go. Long time no hear you.
I'm still on top of the world, girl.
Looking down on creation.
Looking down on creation.
How are you?
Girl, I'm enjoying the best of that planet.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
I am very grateful to be alive. getting up in the morning and see the rising of the sun is a miracle by
And the
itself.
setting of it itself.
And I really thank God for my age. I think I born the right time, 1955, somewhere around there.
Isn't that the Janet time?
Yes,
Hurricane time,
you
so
know.
how could that be the best time?
Yes, well, basically, in the way in which the system works today with this generation, you know, I am thank God for the year that I was born. I think I got everything comparing to how it is now. And the topic is a very nice topic and very broad. But you are right. Stick to the point in which you're supposed to elevate it. And I believe that when we speak about respect for authority starts from you, the individual. What kind of respect do you have for yourself before you can be able to have respect for authority or anybody else? How high is your self-esteem? Or how low is your self-esteem? If you decide to maintain your self-esteem that low, you will see anybody else in the same low esteem as you are. Respect is something that is earned. And in order for anybody to have respect for authority, you must be able to have respect for yourself. And I think that's where the problem lies. Now, if you don't have respect for the boss on your job, what the hell are you going to have respect for? But if you don't have respect for yourself, can you have respect for your mother? How do you conduct yourself in a society according to Jester? When you're on the construction site, how do you portray yourself when your boss is not around? Do you hold your hammer in your hand for hours, and as soon as you hear the song that the vehicle, hey, by boss coming, and let me knock a piece of bone? And it is really total dishonesty. And I believe we have a breakdown in our society where respect for authority is concerned. Because as I rightly say that, respect is something that is earned. If I do not have respect for myself, it is totally impossible for me to show respect to authority, whether the government, whether the pastor of the church, whether in my workplace, no matter where. I'm supposed to portray that high level of respect that I can be able to germinate that to those in authority. And my grandmother always taught us, boy, stop the whistling. And if you're whistling and you're going down the road and you see an elder coming up, stop. And when you pass the elder, you look around, nobody else, then you could start to do a little whistle like it. And these are things that we nurtured as young people growing up. And when I saw, even in our society, the high level of disrespect for authority, it's amazing, it's baffling. But in the final analysis, respect for authority start with you on an individual level. How do you rate yourself? On a scale of 1 to 10, do you go beyond that 11? Or on a scale of 1 to 10, 8.8 because there is room for improvement. But how do you grade yourself? How do you rate yourself? What is the package of respect that you have for yourself that you can be able to give others? I rest my case.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Now, we cannot say it any better because,
No,
as I
not at
always
all,
say, we have to start with it first before we can spread it out there. Even the love for yourself before you spread the love outside there. We have another call. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Claire.
Good morning,
I
ma'am.
called back in. You know why I called back?
Tell me.
I called just now and I was speaking about health.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, the topic changed because it's going to respect.
Okay.
The other man and then this one.
Yes.
And I made a point and you tell me tomorrow is something. And I was speaking about health.
Yes,
So
I
are
know.
you wrong there?
No. Listen, if you had listened to me from since morning, I said I have a half an hour interview with Ann, David, and
Well, I'm
Twine.
sorry that I didn't hear that.
Well, yes.
But I called and I'm speaking about it and you tell me about tomorrow is quality. And This topic is about health.
Yes,
and I was
yes.
speaking about health.
Yes,
You
but
understand?
yeah, I understand.
I don't like that, you know.
No,
I don't like
no.
that because I call, I always call.
Listen,
and
Kami.
make my little contribution.
Kami.
And I didn't like that at all.
Kami, do not take it
Because
wrong because
know
I
all
stick
the
to my
programs you all
topic.
have.
I stick to my topic.
Tuesday is
Mental health.
Talk.
Yes.
Have a good day.
You too. Take care. Now, you see, I don't go against what Kami is saying, but if I did say earlier this morning, if everybody heard me, that I have a discussion with a lady for half an hour, and then from 8 o'clock, I am going to go into the topic of the mental health. And when Kami talks about the government and this stuff, this is not what I deal with. And I know she talked, and I have to make myself clear, and I am sorry that Kami takes offense to it. It wasn't anything to offend her or in any way or form, but I am going to stick to what I'm talking about. I did explain to everybody that this is what I'm going to do, and this is what I'm continuing to do.
No, man, Kami, you will be fine. You will be
Yeah.
fine. Knowing Kami as I do, you will be
No,
fine.
I don't have anything, but I'm just telling her tomorrow's the day that she could explain this more, because this is not what I'm talking about this morning.
Yeah. I think Kami kind of take it a bit wrong.
Yeah, she
when
took
she
it
sit
wrong,
back
yeah.
and reflect, she'll
will
be
know.
fine.
Yeah.
Kami will be fine. We have no intention here of offending you in such
None
a
at
way.
all, none.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
So you know better than
Let's
that.
see if we have a call. Good morning.
Good morning to you, ma'am, and to the man.
Good morning,
to you,
Clifford.
The rest of Grenada.
Mm-hmm.
Nice topic. I think I heard you from the beginning
Right.
that you would have been speaking on with discipline in management place and so.
Yes.
Right. And let me tell you, it's a two-way street, eh? A two-way street. There are some managers that have no respect for their workers.
Mm-hmm.
There are some workers that have no respect for management.
Mm-hmm.
They don't understand their role. And that is one of the greatest problems when you don't understand your role, what role you're playing. If you're not the manager, you have to take instruction. When there's a meeting, you voice your opinion. Otherwise, you are a worker. But some people just can't get it right. Let me give you one story. I was working as a cocoa officer. We were supposed to go and judge cocoa fields one day. I'm living in Goa. When I reached the health center, I realized I was extracting and had a teeth giving me a problem. So I went in there to extract. And I used the phone there, and I called my boss, who was stationed at Maran Cocoa Station. And I said to him, listen, and we coming to work, but I have a teeth giving me some problem, and they extracting this. I won't be able to come up this morning. The gentleman tried, he said, so what you want the people them to do when people come here? I say, Mr. Taylor, I didn't even want to call the gentleman's name. I say, I am in the health center. I have been pain. Anyhow, I'll call somebody, the people will come in, and you find yourself here. And he blammed down the phone. Blammed down the phone on me. I got extracted, and I went home. Next morning, I went up on the job, and I said, look, I'm out to work this morning. I'm feeling much better. All the gentlemen say, all right, those people coming just now. That is highly indisciplined. And we meet a lot of that with management. They are workers that rule. But how you could tell somebody, tell you they're under health, and you tell them that? There was a case where they had to grade you. And when that man reached to grade, workers that was working under him, when he used to honesty, he want to give us a low grade. And we all stood up and said, no, well, you have no thing with us. We don't know us thief or anything. You don't know us interfere with anything in their government business. So why? And he was totally annoyed because he wanted to give us a low grade. And we stand up on that. 4 officers. We stood up and we said, no, we ain't accepting no low thing for honesty because you have not have no dishonesty with us. A few months after, the supervisor, his supervisor now, the person that was in charge of the extension, have to grade him. And when she reached to grade him, she said, discipline to work with people. She give him a low grade. That man course, he get on for the long. He said, he a teacher work and whatnot and whatnot. The point I'm making there is, What is good for the goose must good for the gander. Some people don't want it only when they feed them. You cannot be so. There are workers that really rude to management. But I could tell you there are some management that don't have no respect for workers. And this is not what somebody telling me. I'm telling you. I have worked as a supervisor for years, and I have a lot of problem with certain people. People that want to take over you, people who don't want to take instruction, you tell them what to do because you know a little bit better, and they feel they're doing it their way. That is a high indiscipline with people.
Thanks, Clifford.
But you have people, you have supervisors that are very genuine and nice in a workplace. But sometimes they want to take over. And you see this thing about news to the boss, a lot of it cause people to be out of their jobs. A lot of it bring in news for position. I could give a history on that.
Don't give me this money, no? So
no, I ain't give
we press for time.
Just telling you that there are people like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay.
Thank you, Clifford.
Now, what he's saying is true.
Yeah, it is true.
Vice versa.
Yes.
You know, there are some workers that are really, really disrespectful, as well as there are some bosses that are really disrespectful to the workers. And so you have to maintain some sort of thing early, so that everybody knows where they stand on it. And if a boss is joking with his workers, that doesn't mean that he has to be disrespectful. You know, I have bosses that we chat, we say all kind of things, but I knew where my line was drawn.
Yeah.
I knew which lane to stay in. And you cannot cross over certain lanes, even though you and your boss are good friends.
One thing, the thing is, Cleb, some people feel that...
Caller, we're coming to you.
Well, better we take the call and then I'll come back to my point.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Sister Clay. Good morning, Jester.
Good morning to you.
How long have you been? Yeah, Sister Clay and Jester. There is a topic I really love to speak about respect. Right? And respect is something that you cannot take respect. Respect is something that you own respect. And there is no age limit for respect. Right? There is limit for respect. And one of the things that I want people to understand, respect is very important in your development, in everything that is, and your success. And to be a good manager, you have to respect those who you're working with. And when you respect those who you're working with, then you get respect. Respect is not a one-way street. You have to show respect to your workers, even to your children at home. You have to show respect. Because many times, we want to tell our children to respect those in authority. But we, the elders, who want to encourage our children to respect. When we train working with us, we're passing people and we say money to people. But what they try to say money. So the children do things what they see the elders do. Right? And I always say it takes a society, a community to bring a child. And so that is one of the breakdown in society. Because when you could go outside and do something and the person outside, they could discipline you and correct you of the wrong things you're doing. But what if it happened now, Sister Claire and Jester? Nobody wanted to touch the child. Because I always say, you're the home, the child outside there, you don't know what you're doing. And it is good and pleasant when the child disrespects others. Someone outside could correct them and put them back on the right track. So I want to say again to adults, we have to encourage young people to respect those in authority. And many programs and radio hosts have programs encouraging the young people to disrespect the elders, respect those in authority. And I always say in life, be careful what you encourage children to do to others. Some days to come, the same thing that you encourage people to do to others, they will come back and do it back to you. They will come back and do it back to you. And what we already say, I don't know what you get it from now. I know you get it from what we encourage our children to do. What we encourage our children to do. And we, as adults, we have to encourage our children to walk the right road. And you see, when you have respect, you are patient, Because sometimes you might do something and you don't have the respect, you don't have the right attitude in doing things. That could disqualify you, that could fail you. And I always say respect is one of the fruit of the Spirit. And when you have respect for authority, right, and you have that patience, you will always be successful in life.
Thank you.
And attitude towards your work, again, is very important. Because, see, when you working as an employee with people, and what they see you do when the boss absent, have that on your lead work, and the same people know that you are working and disrespecting them and you have the right attitude. How would you encourage them? What could you say to them when you become the employer and they're working back with you? It's the same thing they want to do back to you because that's what they see you do to the employer. Yeah. So we have to be very careful and we work the right way, and also learn to work with respect and encourage other young people, encourage others who demonstrate that disrespect to authority to stop it, because they say the young people of today is the future of tomorrow, please God.
That's
and we have
right.
to encourage them to work the right.
Thank you very much. Right. Okay, bye-bye. Yes, Jester. Let me say good morning to Chrissy Batiste. Baby Daddy, good morning. And he always says press the like. So press the like, guys. And good morning to Claude Abraham and Julius Bowen. It is 2 minutes to 9 o'clock. The news is going to be in at 9. So call on the line. If you can make your point in 2 minutes, you will find. Let's go. Good morning. 2 minutes.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Good morning, Mona. Mona, you have 2 minutes, okay? You can call back after that.
I just called you to say good morning.
Good morning.
Things not in the right position.
What things?
I lie down inside here with that kind of thing going ahead.
Oh. So which position is in left, right, middle, back, front?
Well, are they in it?
I hear you. Oh, you have that cold.
Madam, I don't have to tell you again. Just keep it cool.
I know. Well, Mona, what happened in everything that passed by you getting it these days?
What passed by me?
The last time you were in Maribo for something?
Well, I don't know. God knows.
Oh, okay.
See what have it in his hand, not me.
Okay. But anything that passes again, please don't take it.
Well, if he come, you could stop it?
Yes. The only thing you can stop is death.
Mona, listen something now.
Uh-huh.
She didn't call me and wish me happy Father's Day, you know. With friends like her, I don't need enemies.
Okay.
Mona?
Yes?
Can I say something to you?
Yes.
Do you forget Heidi and the rest of your children every day?
Forget them?
Okay, every day should be a mother should be the Mother's Day. And every day if you're a father, you should be a father every day. I don't have time for this one-day business. You get me, Mona?
I hear you.
Thank you very much.
Well, Sunday is my day. I just hope everything fine with me.
You'll be fine. You will be fine.
God is in control. And you have a blessed day.
You too. Take care.
You as well.
Okay. Bye-bye. You like a lot of confusion, Jester. So that's what happened. You always trying to put me in confusion. Did you ever tell me that you were a father?
I learned it from the best.
Did you ever tell me that you were a father?
I learned it from the best.
Well, you're wrong to take the page. You should not take the page from that book if you don't, So it is, news is coming up in 1 minute. So just, and the topic that, okay, it's 9 o'clock, people. We are going to go to the news and we'll be right back.
Triple N. Informative, entertaining, and first. Every hour on the hour.
This is the latest news update as produced by the Northern News Network. When we return, we'll have the details.
M&M Hardware Limited, Hope St. Andrew and Dusty Highway St. George. Shop conveniently for all your building materials including plumbing, electrical, lumber, cement, steel and much more. We manufacture roofing sheets available in 11 colors, aluminum windows, doors, insect screens and hurricane shutters. Installation services are available for all our manufactured products. Our opening hours are Monday to Friday 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., Saturdays 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. M&M Hardware Limited. Come on in and experience our affordable prices, or call us 444-6757 or 440-6757 Dusty Highway. Email us at info@mahonhardware.com or mnmdusty@mahonhardware.com. M&M Hardware, foundation to roof. Let's build together.
Hello and welcome back locally. Grenada is looking to the African continent as a new source market for the tourism industry. Lennox Andrew, Minister of Tourism, says that there is an emerging middle class on the continent that they will be targeting. He said Grenada has also had a long-standing relationship with some countries that they intend to build on. In the region, Antigua and Barbuda now has an improved ranking in the Trafficking in Persons report. The U.S. State Department, which publishes the annual report, has moved the Twin Island state from Tier 2 watch list and placed it in Tier 2. The Department of State notes in its country report the government demonstrated overall increasing efforts compared with the previous reporting period. It also says these efforts included investigating more trafficking cases, finalizing and implementing a new NAP, and updating victim identification and referral SOPs. Director of the Trafficking in Persons Prevention Unit in the Public Safety Ministry, John McKinnon, says he and his team are excited with the improved ranking, but says the work continues to get the country to Tier 1 status.
We're definitely not in a bad place. We slipped a little bit last year to Tier 2 watch list. We made a strong comeback this year by putting in the effort. And what we do need to do is to just continue. Based on the recommendation, it asks us to, continue trying to reduce the delays in the court in terms of prosecutions, continue to provide the training that we've been doing. We've been doing a lot of training with frontline officials, including immigration, customs, police, ONDCP, and even some private sector partners, in terms of having as many eyes as possible on the ground who are aware of what human trafficking looks like and how to report it. And prevention is a major part of our ambit. We do believe that an ounce of prevention is worth much more than a pound of cure. So we'd prefer not to have trafficking. However, we are putting in the mechanisms in place and strengthening the systems to ensure when we do come across cases, we can manage them appropriately.
Around the globe, United Nations members adopt first ever treaty to protect marine life.
It's taken more than 20 years, but the UN High Seas Agreement is finally off the ground, as UN member states formally agreed on the text for the treaty. The body's Secretary-General hailed this as a historic achievement.
Thank you very much, Madam President. The ocean is the lifeblood of our planet. And today, you have pumped new life and hope to give the ocean a fighting chance. Climate change is heating our planet, disrupting weather patterns and ocean currents, and altering marine ecosystems and the species living there.
The High Seas Treaty will be the world's first international accord to protect the high seas, the 2/3 of the world's oceans which make up international waters outside any single state's jurisdiction. The landmark agreement will contain tools to tackle several critical elements of the ocean, including the degradation of ecosystems, loss of biodiversity, and the surging warming of ocean waters due to climate change. A key measure will also make global international waters into marine protected areas, which were previously only held by national territorial waters, and could limit fishing, shipping, and exploration activities as long as it's consistent with conservation goals.
And in sports, Stuart Broad ended the day bent double in the middle of the Edgbaston field. The Holy Stand Edgbaston 6,000 strong stag do rose because England's Mr. Ashes had done it again. The battle with Australia is in Broad's blood. This ends the latest news update as produced by the Northern News Network. I am your presenter Maxine Entwine, thanking you for joining us.
Triple N. Informative, entertaining, and first. Every hour on the hour.
If you're looking to improve or maintain your health, look no further. We have a general practitioner right here on Main Street Certez in the Quasi. Dr. Guerra, a gynecologist and surgeon who specializes in women's health. She offers lab tests, blood, pap smears, prostate cancer, and stool tests. We now have a portable EKG machine that gives you accurate readings by using just 2 fingers. And that's not all. If you're suffering from any respiratory conditions such as asthma, bronchitis, COPD, or seasonal allergies, we have a nebulizer machine that can safely treat these. Consultation for pregnant women from beginning to end. Surgeries, which includes hysterectomy, tying of tubes, vaginal shrinking, removal of uterine fibroids, vaginal warts, hernias, and C-sections. She also specializes in diagnostic and therapeutic DNC, abnormal bleeding. Eye testing is also available at the clinic by appointment only with Dr. Mabel Veritas Lugo. They are in collaboration with Alice Labs, located in St. George, opposite the Excel Plaza. Walk-ins are accepted. You can also call for an appointment at 423-3352 or our landline at 444-4272. That number's again 423-3352 or 444-4272. Put your health first.
I remember when this beach was really wide, a place to picnic and play cricket.
And we used to go up to the end to get away from all the people. Now all the beach gone.
Coastal erosion. When the sea starts to come in and take the land away, everyone loses something.
Granny, look how the waves are washing right under that house.
Coastal erosion. It's a hazard. Hazards. Take control. Reduce your loss. What can you do to help stop coastal erosion? For one, don't drive four-wheel vehicles on seaside dunes. They loosen sand and destroy binding vegetation, causing erosion. Find out more about coastal erosion and other hazards at your local disaster office. A message from your National Disaster Office and SEDERA.
Who wants to save 30%? Everybody! Now more than ever, Flow understands the need to make your dollar stretch. Our new bundles can help you save 30% off your current bill. Plus, get a free speed upgrade on your in-home internet. Simply add your mobile to your current home services account and save 30%. It's easy. Sign up now and save. All on the most reliable fixed and mobile network on island. Visit a Flow store or call us at 1-800-804-2994 for more information. Flow, it only gets better. Terms and conditions apply.
The NLA is giving you more chances to multiply your Playway winnings by adding Multi-X to your regular Playway bets to win up to 5 times more. Imagine winning as much as $1,200 instead of $240 with a $10 Playway bet by simply adding Multi-X. Place your Playway bets from $1 to $10 or in increments on your favorite Playway symbols or numbers. Then add the Multi-X option at the same value to win 2 times, 3 times, 5 times more, or free plays. With Multi-X, you must bet the same amount wagered on your regular Playway bets for your winnings to be multiplied. Grenadians, value your dreams and win your way as much as 5 times more with Multi-X added to Playway and watch your money grow. Must be 18 years or older to play. NLA, making your dreams come true.
And Mr. Noel, we are back.
Yes. Let me use the opportunity to say a very special good morning to one named Mary Bartholomew. She's visiting from the U.S. She should be looking at this program at around this time.
She didn't start earlier this morning before you came in?
I don't think.
Okay.
No, I don't think.
See, you're not doing your homework, Jester. The moment you pick up someone from the airport or wherever you pick them up from, the moment you visit them and you know that you are at RealFM, that's where your first word have to, did you have a great flight? Yes. Did you enjoy it? Yes. You know this radio station that I work on Saturdays from back in the day, Calypso? You should tune in there as soon as you go home and you unpack your bag, you take listen to RealFM. But no, you're starting to tell people that I didn't tell you Happy Father's Day and you're not doing the important thing that you're supposed to be doing first. So, I don't even want to hear you. Good morning, Mary. How are you? I hope everything is great. Now, we are talking about respect at workplaces and respect for authority. Someone just sent a message saying, what do you do when your boss disrespects you by cussing obscenities in front of customers and even in front of fellow coworkers? This situation affects your mental health. especially when you want to retaliate in the back of your mind. You think about the repercussions and even walk away from that puts you in trouble. Now, how do we deal with this? My thing is, if you're working somewhere and you have a boss that uses obscenities at you and stuff like that, it is your right to pull up on that boss and say, hey, with all due respect, I don't think that you should direct this at me. Especially if you are the boss or you are the man, do not direct this at me, because we can have a conversation. We can use words better than this to tell me what I've done wrong, or if you want me to do something and I didn't do it your way. But do not swear at me, do not use obscenities at me, because if I come back at you with it, you will definitely turn around and tell me, oh, I am the big cheese here, and you're not supposed to tell me that is. But like Clifford says, what's good for the goose is also good for the gander. So I don't see, it should not happen, and I don't think people should accept it. Even though you're working somewhere and you're telling yourself that, oh, if I do, I may lose my job. I prefer lose the job and walk away with my integrity.
Yes, Claire, it's not fitted, regardless to how a boss, a supervisor, whoever is in the position at the very top, to use certain expressions to his or her subordinates. It's just, come on, because what do they expect in return? And I remember I had a situation like that once. Actually, when the sort of adjective that was used to me the evening before, I actually didn't have a good night rest.
Well, no, mentally it knocks you out, because you're wondering what happened
so
here.
Much so clear, because I know the next morning I go and deal with that situation in no uncertain terms. I don't care who you are, because at the end of the day, respect you. Yes, you're providing the money for the job being done. At the end, I provide a service. So, you know what I mean? That does not give you the right to feel you could disrespect me in that kind of way. There's so much that I tell you, Claire. I plan whole night where I go and deal with that situation.
I understand, but it is something that we all have to learn to deal with, because there are a lot, like Clifford said, and come back to a lot of people does that to their workers, because they look at it, oh, if it wasn't for me, you don't have a job. But if it wasn't for me, you don't have a business either, because it works both ways. Because I am doing you the service, and you pay me, but that doesn't mean that I have to take what you're dishing at me if it's disrespectful to me.
Yeah, there must be mutual respect.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So here we go to maintaining order. It says, when individuals respect authority, hear what it promotes: social order. This is important because it allows society to grow and flourish. For example, taxes are used to create social programs and fund government policies. As a result, there are roads, public services, and more economic opportunities available. One cannot deny that.
No, of
because
course not.
we always say that, taxes in Canada is like high. And everybody complain about the taxes, and they raise taxes, and they do this and do that. But I can tell you that people that visit Canada says, oh, Canada, especially Toronto, is a very clean place.
That's one thing that is associated with Canada.
Cleanliness. We're clean. That's where our tax dollars go when you're there and you're paying your taxes. If there's an island of Toronto, they're called Center Island. We have three. So we have Center Island, Ward Island, and Hanlan's Island. And in summer, like coming up now, they have ferry services that go from the mainland Toronto to that island. There are no vehicles except the golf carts and the fire truck and stuff, the essential services. And just to let me tell you, you can go and spend all day there and not worry about anything. It is clean, it is beautiful, people just go and relax there. So when we follow the rules or authorities, and we do not break the laws, and we do not break the rules, and we follow it, this is a part of what we get. the tax dollars. That's right. So when we avoid paying taxes, you avoid getting the benefits of what you can do when the authority makes that law.
Okay. I would love to see them, put certain things in place, for people to become more adherent towards, as to how they dump indiscriminately in our environment. It's really sickening when you see certain things happening in our environment,
You pass along the road and the amount of old cars that you see that is not in service and it's just there, and it hampers progress for transportation, because sometimes the road is already as the size it is, and when you have things packed up on the side of the road, 2 vehicles cannot pass by you. You block traffic because you have to wait for the one to maneuver itself this way, and so there are, as you said, dumping indiscriminately, and that there's a law that says that you should not. But do we follow the law? No. Everybody thinks, well, they say whatever they want, I am going to do whatever I want.
I know that the authorities were on a drive of really getting rid of derelict vehicles and things on the roadsides and things, solid waste, and I think this MIT ministry, Yeah, I don't know how far they would have gotten now, but I know they are taking the initiative in conducting such an operation.
Okay,
Yeah.
so let's see if it continues, because we do need the cleanliness. I mean, it's small, the roads are small as it is, and then when you have all this clutter on the side of it, it is not helping. So here's another point. It says, as aggressive behavior versus assertive behavior. Assertive people have acquired the skills to state their opinion to others in a respectful manner, while those who are aggressive attack others and force their opinions on others. Assertive versus unassertive and aggressive behavior. Assertive people have a better chance of gaining respect of those around them, as they are able to stand up for themselves while considering the needs and views of others. According to the Psychological Today article, How to be Assertive, Not Aggressive. So aggressive people can be intimidating. Others may begin to avoid them. And that is true.
Yeah, because if you know somebody is somewhat always tend to be hasty, they're aggressive. Sometimes
no one wants to be around that person.
You don't want to have nothing to do with that person on such levels.
The number is still 4420175. Call, because we know that there are a lot of us out there that has something to say on that, and they are not bringing forth. By the way, where is Lorraine Henry? Where you there? Call and say something. Carl Belfon, good morning. Yes, call, because we know it happens and not only here in Grenada, not only in the Caribbean, it happens worldwide, where people disrespect authority.
Yes.
Worldwide. We talk about they says, okay, we have curfew from 5 to whatever in the morning. People just say, you know what? They're watching, I going. You understand? That is disrespect for authority. There's so many ways how we disrespect authority. It is not funny. So many ways. And if we really sit back and really look at what we do, we'll start questioning ourselves as to, do I really need to do that when they ask you not to? Or am I doing it because it is my right as an individual to do that? But you're infringing on my rights also by doing what they're asking you not to.
And sometimes it really doesn't want the risk, eh?
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Because, sometimes you have your children and you say, they ask, can I go to that party? And you say, no, you're not going. And you explain the reason why. And they go to the party. Fight break out, you come back next morning, you have big cut on your foot and so. Tell me where you get it if you stayed in your house. If you did not disrespect what I say to you, you would have been home, safe and sound. But you went out there and you put yourself at risk of getting what you're getting because you disrespect the authority at home.
Oh, yeah, that brings me back. You remember the lady that called that she had her daughter and she wanted to go to some...
Yes. And she asked her how she's coming home, and she said, we'll give her a ride. And she didn't say much, but when they take home, she said, no, you're not going.
Yeah.
And I thought that she dealt with it perfectly.
Yes.
She didn't make any confusion and make any fight with her or anything. No, you're not going, and tell me how you're coming back, who is taking you, what time you're coming back. And she couldn't give her any of those answers. So, yes, red flag waving. And if you see that red flag and you do not do anything about it as a parent, then...
And I really like how the lady had called and really bring across that.
Yes,
you know, she ended up making a cake home and everything. Just
Yes.
stay home and eat
your cake. Have your cake and eat it.
Oh my gosh, I'll never forget that.
No, I didn't say that because I thought that was good parenting.
Yeah.
That was good parenting.
That was good parenting.
Yes.
You can't tell me you're going at such an age, especially you being my daughter, you don't know how you're coming back. You're not certain. You know, there are just too many unclear things about that.
And the thing is, so many things happen these days in a twinkle of an eye. Sometimes you say, yes, you can go, but you're in the back of your mind, you're wondering, you know, what time she's going. Because I know if I let my daughter also go out or go out somewhere, and I see like 12, 1, and they're not back, I'm not asleep. I'm waiting till I hear that key turn in the door and I know they're inside, and then I go into slumberland. You worry as a parent.
Yeah.
So when you don't know where your children are, because they can say they're going somewhere, right, Jester?
Mm-hmm.
And you know they leave to go there. But they meet you, they meet me, and they say, you know what? Here boring. Let's hang somewhere else. And they go hang somewhere else, and that's where trouble starts. Now, you hear something happening in the direction they said they were going, then you go start looking there. And they're not there. They're somewhere else. So all I'm saying to parents and children out there, respect the laws that are provided for you. They are for your safety, for your benefit. We do not hate you when we say no, when we say don't do it. We are protecting you. It is a protection for you and for me and everybody else that is around.
That is the thing. And the thing is, Claire, when they grow older and they look back down the road, they then realize why their parents would have taken such a decision at the time. Yeah.
So here's another point. It says everyone is okay. And by that they mean assertive behavior allows everyone to feel comfortable and safe, while aggressive people tend to seek control and get their way, even if it means hurting others. When you're an aggressor, that's what I mean. It's like me first, and I have to get it, and I have to tell you what to do, and if you don't do it, then I'll do whatever it is, what it takes to get it done. It says, for example, if you have a disagreement with a coworker regarding a project you're working on together, being assertive will allow the two of you to avoid hurting one another and to reach your goal without alienating one another. Even if the outcome is not completely in your favor, you will feel respected and valued as a person because your coworker heard your thoughts and feelings regarding the issue and vice versa before you brainstorm a decision together. So if you are given something to do, you might be the one that has all the ideas. You may know exactly what you're doing. For example, you're an electrician and I ask you to come fix something for me, and I'm telling you how to do your job when I don't know squat about it. Now, if you say to me, Claire, I'm putting on that switch here because when you turn it on, it will bring water to that unit over there. And if you leave it on too long, you'll pull a lot of energy, so you'll have to pay Grandneck a lot of money at the end of the month. Now, you and I come to a common agreement that this is what it is. But if I don't listen to what you say and telling you what to do when I don't know squat about it, then that is disrespect. And two of us will end up in a way that it ain't nice. It won't be pretty. You understand? So we have to learn to know how to work together with each other to bring the best benefit for us.
Lovely. You could not have said it better.
Okay. I want to say it better, but I couldn't say it. So it says being people savvy. Do you understand what being people savvy is? Like you're a savvy person?
No. Could you explain that to me? I mean, this savvy thing. Let's
Let's say if you're technologically savvy or you're electrically savvy. I'm giving you in your field now.
Yeah, give me in my field, yeah.
So you're a good electrician. You know what you're doing.
Okay.
You're savvy about it. You can do anything when it comes to
right.
to being that person.
You're versed in it.
Yes, so you're savvy. Like, when you know what you're doing, you're a savvy person.
Okay.
So it says, be aware of the reactions of those around you is a big difference between being assertive or aggressive, according to Lynn Taylor in the Psychological Today article. People who are assertive exude confidence and self-assurance. They make eye contact with those they are speaking to and resist reacting in a negative, explosive manner. Aggressive people, on the other hand, are often forceful, out of tune with others, and seem to have a tunnel vision with a focus on what their desired outcome should be, according to the College of New Jersey. So, how have imperfect humans misused their authority? That is in one way. It says, imperfect humans in positions of power have done much to undermine respect for authority. Many have been cruel, abusive, tyrannical. In fact, human history is largely a record of abuse of power. What do you have to say on that? Well, let's take a commercial break.
Yeah.
We shall be right back.
M&M Hardware Limited, Hope St. Andrew and Dusty Highway, St. George. Shop conveniently for all your building materials, including plumbing, electrical, lumber, cement, steel, and much more. We manufacture roofing sheets available in 11 colors, aluminum windows, doors, insect screens, and hurricane shutters. Installation services are available for all our manufactured products. Our opening hours are Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., Saturdays, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. M&M Hardware Limited. Come on in and experience our affordable prices, or call us 444-6757 or 440-6757 Dusty Highway. Email us at info@mahonhardware.com or mnmdusty@mahonhardware.com. M&M Hardware, foundation to roof. Let's build together. The Grenville Cooperative Credit Union, the credit union of Grenville, takes you where you want to be. Feel secure with the Credit Union of Grenville, taking care of all your financial needs, including savings, loans, mortgages, and sound financial advice. Serving you with branches on Jubilee Street in Grenville, Lucas Street in St. George's, and coming soon, our Grandstand sub-office. Call us on 442-8602 or visit one of our offices. With Grenville Cooperative Credit Union, your financial security is guaranteed.
Now more than ever, Flow is working hard to keep you connected to the things that matter most. Your family, your work, and your favorite entertainment. We are also providing Flow Study free of charge so students can stay connected and up to date with their schoolwork. And because your safety is our highest priority, you can manage your account from the safety of your own home through the MyFlow app. We are here for you, keeping you connected.
Prepare for hurricane. Prepare for hurricane. Make sure you have your radio and your batteries too. Waterproof flashlight candles will do thin stuff. Garbage bag, first aid kit. Come on people, make sure you have it. Clean water in a container and a hurricane plan. Hear me no man.
Hurricane damage is beyond your control. Surviving the aftermath is up to you. Have a hurricane plan. It can save your life and your family too.
Prepare for hurricane. Your hair, prepare for hurricane.
Where you walk, what you say, when you talk, where you go.
a shed. Wolves in sheep clothing, birds of prey waiting to swoop down on you, and there's no telling what they'll do. You gotta be careful. You gotta be careful. Where you go when you're walking, what you say when you're talking, you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful, careful. We have to prepare to meet the challenges of life without fear. Greed and jealous.
And back to a topic on authority and how should people respect it. Now, it says people that are assertive exude confidence and self-assurance. They make eye contact with those they're speaking to and resist reaction in a negative, explosive manner. Now, I totally understand when they say that you exude confidence and you are assertive in your ways and looking in your eye. Now, I always believe that when you're speaking to people, you should look straight in the eye, look at them. At least it gives you the connection with that person. If I'm having a conversation with you, and my eyes is all over the place, you will think, well, what she's saying or what she's telling me is not legit. She's hiding something. She's not telling me the truth. Because if you don't look at the person that you're speaking to, you make them feel insignificant in a way, like you just telling them something because you can open your mouth and blow hot air. But if you're looking at them in the eye while you're speaking to them, you make that connection with that person. They can see truth in what you're telling them. They can understand more of what you're telling them instead of just looking left, looking right, shifting your eyes all over the place. That is not good for anybody at all that you're having a conversation with. Always remember to look somebody straight in the eye when you're having a conversation with them. That way, you can tell the truth and they can see or they'll believe what you're telling them because you made total eye contact with them. As it says, the aggressive person, it seems that they have tunnel vision. It's all about what I'm saying to you. You're focusing on one thing and one thing only. But that does not make for respect to you. People will disrespect you that way because they look at you coming at them as well. What I say, you do. You have no opinion, there's no other option. He says, the part that I like here is when he says, many governments have been abusive, tyrannical, and they abuse the power. And we are the employees of that employer that feels the pinch when it comes to that. And most governments in the world starts off doing great things or with the intention of doing great things for the people. But somewhere along the line, they drop the ball. And then we lose respect for those who are in authority. They tell us something, and we don't, because if they don't have respect for themselves, how can you have respect for them? So as Pastor Louis said this morning, respect has to start with you first, me first. It has to start with us first.
You see what happened to Boris Johnson in England?
Oh, because during the COVID time, when he said he put everybody under lockdown, but meanwhile he was partying like a rock star. And they got to find out that, because as they say, you can do all kinds of things and think it's in secret, and one of these days it will come out. And when it came out, they move him out. Because people got really upset that they were following What he was saying, stay indoors, wear your mask, do not go in public places, do not go into crowds. And it was everywhere around the world that this was going on at the time. But in the meantime, Mr. Boris was partying. He was going here, there, and everywhere, enjoying himself. So people get upset. And by right, they should. Because if you're going to tell me to do something, why aren't you doing it yourself?
And he did smell the rat, that's why he resigned. Eh?
You think so?
Yes, because the report came out. In fact, they had parliament yesterday. And based on the report, right, that was submitted on him into the investigation. And hundreds voted.
to get him out?
Yeah, it's only 7 that voted.
The 7 he was partying with. No, it is a serious thing because you see, when you are in authority in a country, you set the bar that people has to follow, right? And if you're breaking your own rules, how am I going to follow it? And how do you expect me to follow it when you are not doing it yourself? You're not setting the example.
Yeah.
It's like somebody made a call and say, like when you have a child and you're swearing a blue streak in front of a child, and I've seen it happen. And then the child turns around one day and swear at you, and you want to beat up on that child. Oh, you shouldn't say that. But who was the first one that used it in front of her? Children live what they learn.
Yeah, and they learn what they live.
Yes. And if you're going to be swearing a blue streak up and down in front of your children, expect. Don't say, do as I say, not what do as I say and not as I do, or something like that.
Yeah.
That does not work.
Do as I say and not as I do. This
does not work.
Wait, not anymore. Maybe in the 50s and things.
You know, you cannot be swearing and doing all the wrong things and your children seeing, and then you want to beat them up and tell them, don't do this and do. No, then you don't do it. Don't start with it. Set the example, set your bar high. I'm telling you, just the bar has been set so low right now with where respect is concerned that a lot of us are tripping over it and falling and think that we fall into some la-la land. No.
And you're seeing what's happening in the wider society as a result, Claire?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because the bar has set so because we lost the sense of respect to authority. And it doesn't doesn't have to be just the government. It has to be the parents. It has to be where you work, where you school, in the whole shebang
well, as
of
say,
everything.
Charity begins at home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it ends abroad, as it says. So what, there are some of us as parents, we don't discipline our children at home. And I say the word discipline, not abuse. We don't discipline our children at home. And you take your child out. They're going to behave the same way that they're behaving at home. If they're not disciplined at home, you cannot be expecting to have them disciplined outside. You cannot train them outside as a robot. Okay, I push that button now when you're at home. You behave bad as you want. And when I go outside, I push that other button and you walk, you straight and narrow. No. You have to start from a very young age. And I see people that have children and at the age of 2, they said the terrible 2s. But all ages are terrible because children are like a psychologist. They know how to push your buttons. And you cannot wait at a certain age to start disciplining your children. As it says, bend the tree while it's young.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, and you say, at the age of 2, after 3 years or 4 years, I'm going to start disciplining. That time they have taken root as to what they can get away with already. You cannot discipline them after that. You have to do it right now and let them show respect for who is boss. And not boss in the sense that you're abusing or you manipulative or anything like that. No, they have to know who is in authority here. And as I said before, authority doesn't mean that you have a big stick over them, beating them to do what it is, so that when you're not there and they escape, they say, let me do whatever I want. And when you come back, the stick come out. No. This was in the days of when they had us as slaves.
Yeah.
You have to have that big stick, that master have that stick and beating up people to make them think. Because even then people were rebellious because they know the way they were treated was not right. We were born with this thing inside of us that knows when things are not right with us. human beings totally, whether you're black, white, blue, green, we are born with this. So we know where respect is due and where respect is not due. And if somebody is disrespecting you, you cannot continue to show respect to them. There comes a time when you have to cut yourself off.
I agree.
You have to, because there's no way you can continue to take the abuse that they are giving you and think that it is okay when it's not okay.
Disrespect, it's very offending, you know.
Yes, it is.
You know,
it is.
It's embarrassing, it's insulting. All these words and them can be associated with disrespect. Yeah.
You know, but the funny thing just is that most people that do not show respect for others, they are the first to jump up and say, oh, look, you're disrespecting me. They know what disrespect means, right?
Yeah.
But why aren't they showing it to others? And when it's shown to them, they take offense on it. But again, it has to start with you first. You have to show respect for yourself. Respect yourself first before you can show respect to anybody else or have people show respect to you.
Okay, and as a result of you saying that, I know of some teachers. Well, you know, while they were a teacher, they never used to cooperate and give support to the principal of the school. Mm-hmm. But guess what? The opportunity came after for them to now become a principal in a different school. And because teachers knew that they were not supportive and cooperative with the principal, that they used to be that subordinate off.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they made it a living hell for it.
Oh, yes, yes, it happens.
And they expect, you know, now that they're in the position of authority, they expect that your staff to well cooperate and make your job easy. It doesn't work that way.
You know that golden rule, do unto others
as you like them to do unto you. Yeah.
So if you're in a position where you think that you're above everybody, and you're not meeting your people halfway, and then they turn around and be in the position that you expect them, then all you have to do is reflect. Go stand in front of that mirror and watch your reflection and say, am I being honest with myself? Because when I was in that position before, I wasn't the nicest person to deal with. I didn't make things easy for anybody. So now, according to them, this is how I made my bed, so I have to lie in it. No. Yeah, because if you don't have respect for authority or respect for the laws that is created, how you expect other people to have respect for you? And who is going to respect you when they know this is what your norm was?
You understand? And it's important to know that, you know, workers, wherever you may be working, you need to show support for who is in authority. You need to cooperate. I mean, I'm not saying that you should be doing so blindly. If you feel there is an issue that needs to be addressed, you do it you could make your point, you know, in a respectable manner. You don't have to go about doing it in cussing or quarreling, you do it in a respectable manner. You just make them know, look, you have a concern, you have an issue, you would like to, discuss it, and, that's how it should be.
Yes, but we see now, that's where there's a lot of workshops that goes on that a lot of us should go to, because it teaches us how to deal differently with who we work with, where we work, where we live, and everything like that. Because most of us as humans, we have that rebellious tendency in us, to rebel for anything, or somebody says something to us and we don't like it, we tend to rebel. Yeah. But like you say, sometimes we just have to lean back a bit and look at the big picture and see how it's going to affect me, affect you, and affect people around us. And that's when you do what you know is right. We don't always have to be aggressive. We can be assertive. as it says, be proactive and not reactive. Because sometimes you can see something that is going to happen, and before you let it happen, you take the precautions before it happens instead of reacting to it, because sometimes the reaction is not going to be pretty.
Yes. You could tell what the outcome can be.
Yeah. Here's another point. It says, the look. Aggressive people may stare in an angry, irritated manner at others, while assertive people generally appear relaxed and open even when confronted with a stressful situation. Aggressive people may talk in loud voices, interrupt others, or otherwise dominate the conversation. The expression may shut people down by intimidating them.
That is so correct. All the all that has been mentioned is associated to a very aggressive person. It is.
And here it gets personal now. For example, a husband may yell and glare at his wife during an argument. Rather than deal with the underlying issue, his wife may now be focused on how to get away from him.
That is so true. You do it because after a while, she might be thinking, how much more can I take her?
Exactly. Yeah. And she's planning her getaway. While he glaring, she getting away.
Yeah.
And it happens on
not only both sides.
That's what I'm saying, on both sides.
Yeah.
So the husband may have a nagging wife, and every time he's nag, and he's going to say, I am tired with this. I'm going to mosey on from that relationship. It says, assertive people are more likely to speak in a calm, conversational tone while using expressions that match what they are saying. During a disagreement, a couple will both be able to discuss the issue at hand, discuss problem-solving options, and come up to an agreement or compromise that they both can live with. That is the solution to what it is. And it's a perfect solution. Because I'm yelling, you yelling. Right? We're going, I'm going to yell more. So it does not end nicely at all. No. So in that sense, and that way it says to come up with a problem-solving option. Both of you all speak in a calm manner that we can get somewhere. It says, staying in the game. Once someone is labeled an aggressive person, it can be difficult to change. And that's true. Aggressive people often appear commanding and place high expectation on others, according to psychology today. If those expectations aren't met, the aggressive person may have an outburst of explosion. Learning to lead others by gently taking the reins and allowing others to speak and act openly will help the assertive person to gain the respect of others. This is a useful and necessary skill for all areas of life. That is, letting people say what it is that they have to say instead of dominating them to do what you want to do.
But it is so true that an aggressive person, the word aggressive, arrogance, definitely include the very commanding. That is so true.
Now, here's one part that comes almost to when God created us, what he says. He says, we also respect authority because it is in our own best interest to do so. When Jehovah asks us to respect authority, he often mentions the benefit that will come to us for doing so. For instance, he tells children to obey their parents in order to live a long and good life. That is in the Bible. I am not making this up. This is true. And that's why it says to bend the tree while it's young. Obey your parents, because if we do not obey our parents, our life may not be long and it would not be good. And we see not even only obeying our parents. We see people that disrespect the laws of the land. We see what happened to them. And that's why parents are beating you and they say, you must learn to obey. Every time they beat you and they count in, you must learn to obey. And according to one guy that grew up in the backstreet, they says, who this, you know that guy they call Obey?
Obey?
Mm-hmm. If you think Don Stanislaus?
Oh, yeah.
Obey.
I didn't know you used to call it that.
Yes, and that's because when his father put him blows in his skin, he must learn to obey. Because he used to run away a lot of the time. So that's why he get the name Obey.
Okay.
So that tells you how
all I know him as Santa.
No, Obey. They used to call him Obey. So that tells you when in the Bible it says children should obey their parents in order to live a long and good life. It also says we show our respect for these authorities by means of our law-abiding conduct. We are careful to pay attention, to pay whatever taxes we owe, to fill out forms properly and documents that the government may require, and to comply with any laws that involve us, our family, businesses, or possessions. You know, there are businesses and people out there that when it comes to income tax, everybody's scheming something because they want to get more money than what it is that they gain. Businesses short pay their taxes and so. But I am no guru. But let me tell you all from what I've seen, and I've never tried to take money from the government, because these are a set of people I do not joke with. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you do your taxes and, you know, the government gives you bonuses for tax for HST, like harmonized tax and stuff like that. And when you send your taxes in and they calculate it based on the amount of money you make in a family for a year, they calculate all of that. And they send you little monies here or there because they know you deserve it. They think you deserve it. You get that money because you know you went to the taxman and did your taxes and he did it. After a year or two, that's why they ask you not to get rid of your taxes for 5 years. They can reassess you. And when they reassess you and they realize, well, you're making that amount of money for your salary or in your year salary, how could you get that benefit from that? They reassess you, and guess what? You have to pay them back every cent that you owe them. If they owe you, they send the money back to you. So when people are cutting corners on taxes and trying to say, okay, I get $10,000 this year, put the $10,000 in the bank and wait. They are coming back for it. So when you're doing your forms and so, and they ask you your age, yeah, you might want to tell people you're younger. They know. One click of that social insurance number that they give to you tells them your whole life story. Doesn't make sense to cheat. It doesn't make sense to do all that. Be honest, because after that you have nothing to worry about. Some people get the money and they squander it because they buy everything, and when the government come back for them, you hear the balling. I don't know if you know, in the US, you hear they charge Wesley Snipes for IRS this, they charge Willie Nelson for this, and it's because the IRS, you don't pay this year, they send it to you, don't pay 5 years, and then boom, after 5 years, you owe $1.2 million to the IRS. If you don't pay it back, guess where you're going? Right in the slammer. They don't joke, and these are a set of people I don't joke with at all when it comes to your taxes and businesses going shortcut and all this kind of thing. Yes, it's tough to pay those taxes when you realize that you have to pay the government $7,000 one shot. Pay it. And according to my grandmother, suck salt and build your business. Then you try to treat them, you're paying way more at the end of it all.
Yep.
So as we see, here we have a situation in Grenada where they talk about the hairdressers and the certification and registration and stuff like this. This happens everywhere. For you to be a hairdresser you have to get your license, you have to be registered, you have to pay your hairdressing taxes. Any little business, whether you have it in a small place, smaller than that, and one chair, and you do it. Once you register, and so you have to pay taxes to the government. This is how the government gets to build roads, get to keep your place clean, get to give you social assistance by the taxes that we pay towards them. So when you scheme on paying the taxes, you're hurting you, you're hurting me, you're hurting everybody else, because there is no social assistance for you or your family in the long run. So I'm going to close by saying the human being from the moment he was born acquires right to life. Consequently, it is the duty of everyone to respect that right. Therefore, no one should take the life of another human being. That is disrespect. And we know what happens to people when they take people's life. When I disrespect your life, you disrespect mine. You're disrespecting the Creator himself, because he's the one, the head of the authority of everybody. He authorizes everything that happens on this planet. So when we do that, we show gross disrespect to the Creator, and then it comes down to who? Because when he says pay back Caesar things to Caesar, it was the government he was talking about. Pay back the taxes and everything that you owe.
Yeah.
And if we don't do that,
you make mention about taking on the next one life, except it's in some extraordinary situation like self-defense or something of that sort, you know. But I should just go around blatantly and just end somebody's life. No.
Because sometimes you're in your home, somebody come and attack you in your home and kills you. That is not self-defense. They came to take you out, because if you meet them or they don't get whatever they want, they will take you out.
Yeah.
And that is the topic we're talking about, disrespect for people's life. Yeah. So I was talking to the workers out there the other day, and I said, when people go to stores and they steal people's stuff. They steal the stuff in the store and they go with it.
Like shoplifting?
Yes, they shoplift. Yeah. Or they come around and sell, we call it hot stuff. You're not a businessman. I don't know you to be a businessman. You don't own a store. But you come in with a blender and ask me to buy that thing. And I said to them, try to stay away from these things. Because when you do that, or people go and shoplift, at the end of the day, you and I are paying back for it. Because the prices go up. Because if the shopkeeper has to make his money back. And if you come and you steal things from me, I have to make my money back. So the next thing for me to do is to raise the prices. So each and every one of us suffers when things like that happen. And that again is disrespecting authority. Because we tend to just do things because we can do it. We don't just do things because we can. Think about the repercussions of what's going to happen to you and me and your children to come, the future, what's going to happen.
Like that person that I hear recently had gone and break up with Mr. Lalson's place.
Now, if you want to go and buy a bottle of wine next week, chances are the price of the wine go up, because if they take it and go away with it and he has to replenish that amount of what they steal inside there, guess whose pockets is being hit for it? Us.
Yeah.
Us. So I'd like to say thank you to everyone that participated, that called, who listened online, who listened on terrestrial radio. Thank you so much for listening to Mental Health Tuesday and all the other programs that we have on RealFM. We really do appreciate when you partake and when you listen, because we can only learn as we go along. And sometimes the topics that we bring here could be very deep. And I know you don't call because you sit back and listen to it and even try to make changes in your life on it. I do the same. When I do research and I see things that affects me, what I could change, I try to change it too. So I'm asking you to do the same.
So
Claire, yes.
I say thanks again to the listeners and viewers. I think it was another very, very interesting program. But I think we should also open up to the public out there. They probably may have a topic that they may like us to take the lead on and talk about it. So probably they can call in. Maybe you can give them a number to call in, and then we're not guaranteeing that it's whatever suggestion comes along that it will be dealt with, But when we soft through and we realize, we think that one, what been discussed, then it definitely may find its way being discussed on one of our programs there on mornings. So we can always invite that from our listeners and viewers out there.
Thanks again. It is 10 o'clock inside the studios of RealFM and the Eastern Caribbean as well as North America.
Triple N. Informative, entertaining, and first. Every hour on the hour.
This is the latest news update produced